Welcome to the Face the Music podcast. What is up, everybody? My name is Matt and I'm your host. As always, we will have this week's top 10 songs of the week, show announcements including the next round of bands for MGR Fest 2025, and special guest Long Island metal band Resist the Temptation. You ready? Let's do it. What's up, everybody? How's it going? How was your week? Did you enjoy episode 10? It was a long one, but it was definitely a good one. Gordon is one of the strongest dudes out there, and for anyone interested, they murdered the 3B Festival, despite, from what he told me, a complete mess involving the sound guy. But I'm glad they got all that straightened out, and the festival was such a success. It's awesome to see a budding music scene in a place where there really was nothing else before. Shout out to Gordon and Tone. It was great having you on, my friend, and I would love to do it again sometime. Welcome to week 11. Today we have the usual, the top 10 music news, and on top of more band announcements, I'm announcing all of the vendors for MGR Fest 2025. Also on today's show, I have special guests Resist the Temptation, an incredible metal band out of Long Island, New York, and also one of your MGR Fest bands previously announced. I can't wait to share the conversation with you guys in just a bit. For my first timers, welcome to the Face the Music family. When you're listening, it's our time to hang out together, so forget about the insanity of life. You'll never hear me talk about politics or religion or anything hot button that we get bombarded with and quite frankly drowned with in all day, every day. For all of my returning listeners, welcome back, fam. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for joining me once again on another episode of the Face the Music podcast. So, grab your favorite earbuds and a nice cold beer, or pop on an episode in the car on your way home from work. It's the weekend, baby. Forget about your dickhead of a boss. Forget about that awful customer that you helped. Forget that your in-laws are coming in this weekend. None of that shit matters. Let's have some fun. Whether this is your first episode or your 11th, I do kindly ask that you help me grow this thing. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, like and share my posts, vote when there's something to vote on. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and on YouTube. And most importantly, check out the Face the Music podcast every week. These are the easiest ways to help me grow, and I appreciate it a lot. So let's spread the word together. Every little bit helps. Before we get into the bulk of today's episode, let me ask you something. How are you feeling? Not just your physical health, which I hope is well, but also your mental health. There is still a huge stigma present about taking care of your mental health, and lots of people tend to ignore it for one reason or another. These conflicts usually pop up because of maybe how we've been raised. You're fine, if you fall off the horse, get back on, or maybe culturally, men feeling as though they should just toughen up because showing your emotions were a sign of weakness. The real men don't cry stereotype. If any of this sounds familiar, you are not alone. 62% of adults believe societal attitudes discourage people from seeking mental health help. Now, despite growing up in an era of mental health awareness, 37% of Gen Z believes those who seek therapy are mentally weak. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp is sponsoring this video, and I am working with them to help stop the stigma around mental health support and encourage more people to get support from a licensed therapist. Therapists listen, they ask questions, and they help you see things from new perspectives. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life, and BetterHelp's mission is to make starting therapy as easy as possible. If you think you could benefit from speaking with a licensed therapist, click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/facethemusic to match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. Using my link also gets you 10% off your first month of therapy. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I hope, working hand in hand, we can make a difference. You ready for this week's top 10, guys? Well, here we go. This week, we will hear music from Shadows Fall, Dry Kill Logic, Within These Walls, Starset, Demon Hunter, Rise of the North Star, Jack Pipe. I got the brand new single from Sweden's Orbit Culture. We also have Silverstein and Desolate Sun. As always, you'll hear all the clips of the top 10 on Spotify episodes, but unfortunately, YouTube snitches if you want to upload music. So, though I had so many upload issues in last week, I said fuck it, and I put it up, and it was fine. I'm not risking copyright again this time, though. So if you're watching on YouTube, the clips will not be featured. But not to worry, YouTube, you can still listen to the full songs on the Face New Music Top 10s playlist over on Spotify. Code will be at the end of the top 10, and you can also find it in the link that's on all of my socials. Top 10 of the week, here we go. At number 10 this week, we have Columbus, Ohio hard rock band Starset. Starset has been around now for about 12 years and are known for their immense stage shows. Starset are on the verge of releasing their 5th album, and they've released 5 singles so far, expecting a late spring release. Just a few days ago, the band released a cover of the Tears for Fears song Head Over Heels. Now, most of you, if you're like me, are going to recognize this song from the iconic cult classic movie Donnie Darko, the school scene in the beginning of the movie. Great song, great movie. Starset did a great job with this cover. They keep it melodic, but give it almost a very dystopian feel. I love it. It was a no-brainer to kick us off today. At number 10 for week 11, this is Starset covering Tears for Fears, Head Over Heels. At number 9, we have Long Island metalcore band Within These Walls. Within These Walls is a newer band, only having a few releases and limited information available about the band online, but the music absolutely speaks for itself. This is off the band's latest release, the EP True Nature Awaits Us. This is Within These Walls, Meteor Beacon. Number 8. Out of Seattle, Washington, metalcore band Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter began 25 years ago, back in 2000, started by brothers Ryan and Don Clark, Ryan being the only original member left as Don departed the band back in 2009. The band released 12 studio albums so far and just dropped a brand new single that I can only assume will be placed on their 13th, but no details have come out about that as of today. Back in 2013, the Navy was using Metallica's music during interrogations in the Middle East. Now, Metallica had reached out and asked them to stop using their music. Upon hearing this, Demon Hunter contacted the military with their endorsement, which was accepted. And according to Robert O'Neill, the man who took out Osama bin Laden, SEAL Team 6 received patches and CDs from Demon Hunter before the mission, and he was wearing his Demon Hunter patch on every mission, including the infamous Operation Neptune Spear mission that would result in O'Neill taking the kill shot on Osama bin Laden. Your number 8 song of week 11 goes to Demon Hunter, I'm Done. Number 7 this week goes to Long Island metalers Desolate Sun. This Long Island metalcore band has been around for a few years now, releasing 2 singles in 2023, 1 in 2024, and 1 more most recently as of January 31st of this year. Now, the band is currently writing and recording new music, and most recently shared the stage with top 10 alums Patterns of Decay and Jackpipe, who you'll hear very shortly, as well as New York metal band Anaka. Shout out to the Palace Boys, Peter and Jimmy. Go check out Desolate Sun on Instagram. Keep up with their new releases and shows. I can't wait for what's next, personally. At number 7, this is Desolate Sun with Torment. number 6, we're staying here on Long Island, this time with one of the most fun metal bands in the scene, Jackpipe. Every Jackpipe show is a party. They are 4 dudes that love the simplicity of playing the music that they enjoy and having the most fun possible while doing it. Their lyrics and song titles are often satirical and quite tongue-in-cheek, and it's always a good laugh and a fun listen from Larry and the boys. If you have the opportunity to see them, go out of your way to get to a show. They don't disappoint. Now, the song that I'm going to play for you in just a minute is off of their 2023 EP, Getting Jacked, which also features a cover of the Sepultura classic Roots Bloody Roots. Number 6 this week, out of Long Island, New York, 4 dudes who love beer, pizza, wings, metal, and all things fun. This is Jackpipe with Feelin' the Pump. Number 5, Song of Week 11. Legends in the metal genre and on their comeback right now with a new tour, new single, and more new music on the way, we have Dry Kill Logic out of Westchester, New York. The band began in 1995, originally named Hinge, celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. The band cites a long list of influences, including Sepultura, Alice Cooper, Machine Head, Slipknot, James Hetfield, Phil Anselmo, Vinnie Paul. Dry Kill Logic has 3 studio albums and 4 EPs, the last being in 2006. The band has released 4 singles over the last few years, with Vices in 2019, Don't See Ghosts in 2020, Hindsight in 2022, and the band just released another song only a few days ago, but stays completely true to the band's classic sound. The song is called Now You Belong with the Dead. Go check them out this summer, playing Welcome to Rockville, Rockfest, and Incarceration Festivals. At number 5 this week, this is Dry Kill Logic, Now You Belong with the Dead. Taking the number 4 spot this week, Parisian J-pop metalcore band Rise of the North Star. The band draws a lot of influence from Japanese pop culture and anime and manga. The band uses anime and manga characters as metaphors to express their own lives. Frequently referenced are Fist of the North Star, Dragon Ball, Akira, Rookies, The Great Teacher Onizuka. The band takes influence from bands such as Rage Against the Machine, Slayer, Suicidal Tendencies, Biohazard, Wu-Tang, and Mobb Deep. Their style combines metal with New York hardcore and hip-hop, and the final product is a heavy, groove-oriented sound with incredibly unique lyrical personification. The band recently released a brand new single on April 30th, teasing more new music in the not-so-distant future. At number 4, this is the brand new single from Rise of the North Star. This is Neo Paris. Top 3 songs of Week 11. At number 3, Canadian post-hardcore band Silverstein. The boys are back, celebrating 25 years. Silverstein was synonymous with the MySpace era of music. Warped Tour, Taste of Chaos, Hot Topic. My first experience with Silverstein, I knew nothing about them. But I had a friend who was obsessed with them, and he asked me to go to a show with them, so I did. So we went to the Crazy Donkey in Farmingdale, RIP, back in 2006, and I was very, very unfamiliar with the post-hardcore scene. The first band that night was I Killed the Prom Queen, and I remember being very into them. Then, He Is Legend and metalcore royalty, It Dies Today, and finally Silverstein. The crowd was crazy all night, but once Silverstein came on, it was like something I'd never seen before. The crowd, like the whole mood shifted. It was electric. The band's energy was crazy. The pits were wild. One girl walked out with a handful of blood and a broken nose, but a smile on her face. It was fucking mayhem. The band crushed, their fans were passionate, and I totally understood why they are who they are. Silverstein announced earlier this year that they were dropping a brand new album, Anti-Bloom, and on the date of the album's release, they also announced that they had a second album coming out this year, Pink Moon, dropping September 12th of 2025. This is honestly, I think, the best material the band has ever released, in my personal opinion. It checks so many boxes for me. Once I heard the new single, I actually got excited for more for more knowing that the band has a revived and renewed energy about them. Your number 3 song this week is the first single off the upcoming album Pink Moon. This is Silverstein with Negative Space. Number 2 this week, we have true legends of the metalcore genre. One of the first and the finest in the genre. Out of the metalcore capital of the world, Boston, Massachusetts, we have Jonathan Dene, Matt Bachand, Paul Romanko, Jason Bittner, and Brian Fair, the one and only Shadows Fall. The band began back in 1996, and through a few lineup changes, they've seen other huge names in the genre taking on temporary residence in various roles of the band. On the band's first album, On Vocals, featured Phil Labonte of All That Remains. In 1996, Adam Dukowitz would play the drums, live at least, for the band to fill in for their original drummer, Dave Germain. Adam D. also did session drumming for the band as they were gearing up for their first EP. In 1998, Labonte was fired from the band and would go on to create All That Remains, and that's when they would hire mainstay vocalist Brian Fair, and shortly after, drummer Dave Germain would leave the band and be replaced by Jason Bittner, solidifying their lineup. If you were unfamiliar with the band organically, then you most definitely became familiar once the Guitar Hero franchise introduced the rest of the unknowing world to them with their track The Light That Blinds. Honestly, so much can be said for Rock Band and Guitar Hero games, and they do deserve proper credit where credit is due. They did introduce millions of artists that people had never heard before, and did inspire a new generation of metalheads and musicians. Regardless, Shadows Fall had 7 studio albums between 1997 and 2012 before going on hiatus in 2014. Back in 2019, there were talks and rumors that the band was going to be getting back together. The band allegedly had a massive reunion show set for winter of 2020, and, well, needless to say that didn't go as planned, but, however, the band did eventually make their return for a one-off in 2021, which had fans begging for more. The band granted our wishes and not only started recording a new album, but also began doing more shows as well. Once at Blue Ridge Rock Fest, once at Furnace Fest. In December 2024, the band announced their first new single, In the Gray, and this past Friday, like so many other artists on this list, just dropped their newest single, which is also your number 2 song of the week. From Shadows Fall, this is Souls Devoured. And for your number one song of week 11, a band hailing from a small town in Sweden called Extra. A band that will be one of the biggest names in the metal genre in the next 5 years. Guaranteed. Melodic death metal band Quartet Orbit Culture. Orbit Culture was last featured in my top 10 all the way back in week 2 with their song Master of the World. A cure for the itch of waiting for new music from this band. Well, last week they began teasing a new release, and it's finally here. Orbit Culture have been around since 2013, but really started gaining traction here in the States around 2014-2015 before completely blowing up with their 2020 release, Nisha, which created so much noise it got the young band almost instantly recognized among metalheads and landed the band a 30-minute set on the virtual edition of the Knotfest Roadshow due to the pandemic, but the band did not let that slow them down. They continued writing during the pandemic, and by 2021, they released their EP Shaman, which also brought them stateside in the fall of 2022 with In Flames and Fit for an Autopsy. Shout out to Joe Bad and the boys. In 2023, they released a follow-up to Nisha entitled Descent, and almost immediately after, to finish up their contract with their old label, they would drop the EP, The Forgotten, to fulfill their contractual requirements before signing with Century Media. In 2023, the band came back to the States with Avatar and Veil of Maya, and again in 2024 with Fear Factory and Machine Head, and later in 2024 with Knocked Loose and Slipknot. It has been an amazing 5 years for this band, and they're on the verge of the upcoming release as well. This is going to be a huge moment in the band's career, so keep your eyes out. At your number one spot for week 11, one of my favorite bands ever, and if you don't know them, go binge them. This is a brand new track from one of the finest metal bands on the planet. This is Orbit Culture off their yet to be named but confirmed release. This is the new single, Tales of War. You can check out all of the full songs on the Face the Music Top 10s playlist on Spotify by either searching or scanning the code that is on your screen now. Are you interested in being a guest on the show? Hit me up. I'm always looking for bands, musicians, friends, other podcast hosts, promoters, or people who just live for rock and metal who want to come on and talk. Let's set it up. Don't be shy. It's always a good time. I will say, as of today, though, I am booked up quite a bit. I'm talking towards the end of July, early August now. So if you have something you want to come on and talk about, don't wait. Email me or message the Face the Music Instagram page. Let's get it set up. My friends and bands, if you have a show coming up, a new single, an album or EP dropping, make sure I know, please. I want to do my part to make sure your music gets heard and your band gets seen. But if you don't tell me, I won't know about it, so please reach out. Alright guys, we got some show announcements. May 16th, we have Vanna featuring Lost Becomes at Amityville Music Hall, Amityville, New York. This is the comeback of Vanna, the original lineup. This show is going to be huge. I may try to head down for this one. The last time I saw Vanna was at Warped Tour in like 2010 or 2011. So it's been a long time. And I haven't yet gotten the chance to see Lost Becomes yet, so this is a pretty prime show. Also, for the dudes in Lost Becomes, a few weeks later, they're opening for the Metal Legends Dry Kill Logic on their comeback tour. Congrats to Lost Becomes on 2 huge spots. May 24th, the start of Memorial Day weekend, we have yet another fantastic night of metal featuring Uchikatsu, Patterns of Decay, and Tethered. This is going to be at City Sound Studios in Ronkonkoma, New York. Also featuring Graveborn from Massachusetts, Cytokine from New Hampshire, and Soul Mirror. One day later, we have Sand City South in Lindenhurst, New York on May 25th. I Dreamt the Sea, Dead Within Days, Soul Searcher, Numbflower, and Hope Speak. Doors are at 6 p.m. It's $15 to get in, but it is cash only, so make sure you hit your bank on the way, and it is 21 and up. June 14th, Whiskey Rocks, West Babylon, New York, we have Resist the Temptation. More details will be coming very soon about this show, so keep your eyes and ears open on the band's Instagram page, and once I have details, I will make sure to tell you as well. We Came as Romans, After the Burial, Currents, and Long Island Boys Johnny Booth are on the Bad Luck North American Tour this July and August. For us here in New York, they're playing the Palladium Times Square on July 24th, only day 2 of this monster tour. 2 days later, July 26th, Moongroove Records hosts MGR Fest 2025. This event will take place at Uber Geek Brewing in Riverhead, New York. This is going to be like a Long Island version of Warped Tour. The whole thing kicks off at noon, will feature local artists and touring acts. There have been so many announced so far, and only, as of today, I think one more left to go before we get the final poster this coming Monday. I think we're up to 18-ish, maybe. It's a lot of artists. It's going to be a really, really good time. On top of artists playing, there's going to be vendors, activities, games, food trucks, and so much more. $25 if you buy ahead, $30 at the door, so make sure you save yourself a little cash and buy early. Every week, we've been updating our list of bands announced for MGR Fest. Now, as of today, Wednesday, May 7th, we now have Farsight, Ringside Tonic, Pathmaker, Cheem, Path We Choose, Soul Searcher, Resist the Temptation, With Sales Ahead, Dead Within Days, Hope Speak, Pulses, Bojack, Ghost City Limits, Oceanside, Off Guard, and I Dreamt the Sea. Keep your eyes on the Moongroove Records page, as there's only one more announcement left before the entire lineup has been revealed. Please go give all of these bands a follow and a listen, and make sure you buy your tickets early. As I said before, $25 online or $30 day of event. Save yourself some merch and beer money though, and also save some time at the door, since this event does start at noon, and you want to make sure that you're there and inside early for when the first band kicks it off. Now, exciting stuff regarding MGR Fest. This past Saturday, in case you missed it, all of the vendors for MGR Fest were revealed, and I'm happy to announce Riff Haven Audio Recording Studio, Floating Forest Guitar Pedals, Safe Haven Music, Mon Cherie Sugary, Burnworks Unlimited, Gallagher Baked Goods, Katie Crafts, the Maui Chop House Food Truck, the El Amor del Caribe Caribbean Food Truck, and in case you missed my announcement this past Saturday, Face the Music will be a vendor. I will see you crazy sons of bitches there bright and early. I just ordered my tent, my banner. I'm going to have giveaways. I'm putting some stuff together for a raffle, some cool things I'm going to have for sale, and some other stuff that I'm working on that as soon as I find out I got the green light for, I'm going to tell you all about. Very exciting. I cannot wait to be a part of this festival. Now, next Friday, we will have all band announcements, which means next Friday I'm going to give you the final roster of MGR Fest 2025. Don't wait for me to tell you, though. Go check out the Moongroove Records Instagram page. They'll be announcing the final band, I believe, Friday. So when this comes out today, check it out. And then Monday, the full poster gets revealed. Last week, I didn't get to do any music news. So in case you missed it, I was supposed to put it on YouTube. I never actually got around to it. It was a pretty hectic week with my upload schedule and computer issues. So let's just go back and revisit real quick. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2025. The nominees were released earlier this year. We had Bad Company, Fish, Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Black Crowes, Oasis, Billy Idol, Joy Division / New Order, Mana, Cyndi Lauper, Soundgarden, Outkast, and the White Stripes. Now, for those unaware, the Hall of Fame bases their qualifications on influence, quality, cultural impact, longevity, and body of work. And in order to be eligible for a nomination, you must also meet criteria as well that says you have to be 25 years past your first commercial release. So out of this year's nominees, those actually getting inducted are Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Cyndi Lauper, Soundgarden, Outkast, and the White Stripes. If you didn't know how the nominees getting inducted were revealed, it was done on American Idol. Which, now, I'm not going to lie to you. I watch American Idol. My family loves it. By proxy, I'm into it. And, it's fun. It's mindless bullshit. It's good to know what's going on in the industry, too. But I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a joke. I know this. But what I refuse to accept is how many rock bands are turned away each year, year after year. And yet they're inducting bands that really and honestly don't belong. Chubby Checker, Bad Company, Joe Cocker, Soundgarden, fine. I get it. Culturally impactful, influential, been around a long time. But what I have issue with is not even so much the other inductees. It's the snubbing of the more deserving first. I love Outkast. The White Stripes, they had a few good ones, but for the most part, I kind of think they sucked a little bit. The cultural impact is there for sure. Like you hear Hey Ya and you hear Seven Nation Army at every single sporting event you go to now, but that's really as deep as their impact goes, to be completely honest. Now, influence, I don't know really anyone who has been influenced by Outkast, I should say, excuse me. Andre's been away from the game for so long that there's an entire generation who doesn't even know Outkast. And White Stripes have been broken up longer than they've actually been together, but Jack White has influenced a lot of guitarists, I would say. But really, just Jack White. Meg White, she was fine for the band, I'll put it that way, but no one's going out to be as good as Meg White. Everyone on your first day is already kind of better than Meg White. Still, I say though, that's all well and good, but why are they first ballot entrants? Now, you want to talk bands that have made a cultural impact, an influence, made a difference, hold legendary status, quality of music. Well, here's a few bands that I fully believe exceeded criteria, and I know I don't stand alone here. From classic bands to more contemporary bands, the snubs are getting offensive, to say the least. The Hall of Fame, like I said, they're a joke. They're out of touch, and yes, I do believe there should be a hierarchy of inducting bands because of how long the waiting list is. For example, Motorhead is not in the Hall of Fame. Lemmy is not just an icon. He isn't just a legend. Lemmy is a god in the rock and metal genres. Motorhead is the reason that we have Twisted Sister, who are also not inducted. And I can go for days on that. They were dead in the water until Motorhead brought them over the pond. Now, Motorhead has had hit after hit. Ace of Spades, Damage Case, Overkill, Eat the Rich, Hellraiser, We're the Road Crew. They have influenced millions, including fellow metal titans Metallica, who've made their praise and respect of Motorhead and Lemmy very well known. Motorhead also helped pioneer the thrash metal genre. They meet every criteria and yet still get turned away. Anthrax, Slayer, Megadeth, 3 of the 4 biggest thrash metal bands of all time, continuously snubbed. So let's see. They're big enough to be considered among guitar gods. They're big enough to have influenced generations of metalheads. Bunches of kids have picked up guitar for a first time because they hear Raining Blood or I'm the Law or Hangar 18 on Rock Band or Guitar Hero or their dad's radio or some shit, and they fall in love with the genre, And they actually find a guitar hero like Rich Caggiano or Marty Friedman, Chris Broderick, Jeff Hanneman, or maybe they want to be like Charlie Benante or Nick Menza or Dave Lombardo. Cultural impact. People were carving Slayer into their fucking arms. I think that's as big of an impact as you can make. Anthrax and Public Enemy have been doing, well, they did anyway, the first rap metal crossover with Bring the Noise. It's one of the most legendary things to happen in the metal and rap worlds. That fucking sparked new metal. Like, Anthrax were a catalyst in one of the biggest movements in metal history. Megadeth have an entire subculture of their own. Dave made a career out of hating his former bandmates in Metallica, writing pissed off, angsty anthems with some of the fastest and most aggressive music the world has heard, with an ever-rotating lineup of musicians that took the band in so many different directions, but every single one worked. The songwriting was always top tier, with the exception of Super Collider, and the guitar work is of the gods. These three being ignored is gross to me. Blue Oyster Cult. You know I love my Long Island bands. Well, Blue Oyster Cult's from Stony Brook. How in the fuck is BOC not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What haven't they done? Longevity. They've been touring for almost 60 years and they're still going. Their first album dropped in 1972, self-titled. Off of this album came one of the biggest hits, Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll. Cultural impact? Don't Fear the Reaper is all I have to say. Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom are two of the finest guitarists in the rock genre, and their songwriting has always been far ahead of its time. Through multiple lineup changes over the career, Bloom and Dharma have always been the two originals, but they've welcomed in world-class musicians such as Bobby Rondinelli, George Cintron, Chuck Berge, Rudy Sarzo, Kasim Sutton, and more. The band have had so many hits, almost too many to mention. But their biggest include Don't Fear the Reaper, Godzilla, Burnin' For You, Cities on Flame, ETI. BOC should undeniably be inducted. I think quite possibly more infuriating than the others is the fact that Dio is not inducted either. Dio has had a monster career on his own, with his own era of Black Sabbath, launching Heaven and Hell. He was in Rainbow, influencing everybody from Metallica to Tenacious D. It is ethically wrong that this man is not in the Hall of Fame yet, and of course, as similar with so many others, his death will be the only way that he gets inducted now. I mean, for God's sake, the man's responsible for the metal horns. Like, you want to talk cultural impact, what is more impactful spanning multiple genres than the horns, or the fact that it stemmed from his own Italian culture, making it all the more impactful culturally. The horns, for those who don't know, in Italian culture are used to protect and ward off the malocchio, or the evil eye. Some Italians also, they carry a little tiny red pepper, or sometimes a big red pepper, called a cornicello, and they will usually wear this around their neck. This is a Sicilian and Southern Italian belief, but in our world, the horns are a symbol of all things rock and metal. Dio also had tons of hits on his own with every project he's had, like Man on the Silver Mountain or Last in Line, Heaven and Hell, Holy Diver, Neon Nights, Rainbow in the Dark. It just keeps going, dude. It's disgusting he isn't in there. Now, other bands that are snubbed include Iron Maiden, almost infamously at this point. I don't think that there's a Maiden fan that isn't furious about this, but Maiden themselves even said if they were nominated at this point in their career, they're not showing up. The Hall of Fame has also had the audacity to snub Deep Purple at one point, saying that they were a one-hit wonder and they didn't have the impact that other bands had. That's bullshit on all accounts. Which one hit are they talking about exactly? Burn? My Woman from Tokyo? Highway Star? One of the most influential, recognizable, popular, iconic songs and riffs of all time. The song that 90% of guitarists learned before they even learned Iron Man, Smoke on the Water. Deep Purple eventually got inducted in 2016, but not before the Hall of Fame had the single most out-of-touch excuse possible. Alice in Chains, Motley Crue, Thin Lizzy are also bands that should be in that continuously get ignored. Now, at this point, in, in where we're at, it's 2025. There's a whole new generation of bands that are deserving to get in there. The argument could be made for new metal bands as well. Why is it that metal bands always really get the snub? They're kind of the ones that are keeping the rock, traditional rock and metal alive at this point. You want to talk traditional, right? Well, the traditional fell off with Elvis, but then it reignited with Kiss, and then followed through with the Beatles, the Who, Motorhead, Blue Oyster Cult, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and then it evolved on the metal side with Metallica, Slayer, Testament, Anthrax, and on the other side of things you had Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Van Halen, but they all met in the middle. Subculture to the glam rock, you had Madonna and Cyndi Lauper launching what pop would become. Metal continued to evolve, continued to inspire, continue to grow, and have cultural impact, and create its own family tree, so to speak, with metal being the root, and nu metal, doom, thrash, sludge, hardcore, death metal, and so on being the branches that would eventually grow on this tree. Metal is a culture, a community, a brotherhood, and it's a shame when you think the bands that will never be a part of the Hall of Fame conversation, like Machine Head or Testament, Overkill, most likely System of a Down, Korn, Slipknot, Tool. I do think Linkin Park, out of that era, might be the only band that has a definite shot, just because it really, for them, it's undeniable. Now, I know that I'm preaching to the choir here, but it's a bit out of control. There needs to be a broader spectrum of people on the Hall of Fame panel. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Did I get this right at all? What are you thinking? Like, what bands would you include if you had to pick? Now, in 2020, something shocking happened. Took the world by storm. Something that separated some, but unified most. It didn't matter who you were voting for. It didn't matter your faith or what kind of music you listened to. Our differences were set aside for one common reason. We all agreed that Chris Taylor Brown from Trapt is an asshole. Yes, our one-time teenage angst-driven hero who taught us to be headstrong is to take on anyone, who has asked who's going home with us tonight, had the entire world turn on him in one of the funniest and longest lasting cancellations since Harvey Weinstein. Old CTB held nothing back and quite literally took on anyone, myself included. I argued with him to the point of him blocking me, which is hilarious because who the hell am I? I'm just so rando talking shit, and he got so mad. But aside from personal hilarity, he humored the entire metal world by challenging Jason Richardson's abilities, by saying he's just as good, if not better, than Richardson, and he can play anything he can, he just chooses not to. Arguably my favorite part of the CTB Chronicles of 2020, he stated he sells out every room he plays in. Every night, playing to a packed room full of Trapt fans. Well, the lie detector, aka the internet, determined that was a lie. Ever since this truly ridiculous claim, people have been showing up to Trapt shows, buying tickets, taking pictures from the back of the room, and just showing how full these rooms are. And now, every single time the room is packed, if the max capacity was maybe 15, I don't know. 5 years later, the man himself is still going. In 2025, Trapt is touring, and out of the band's 39 acoustic shows they had lined up for, 4 of them canceled. Rather than realize their popularity is gone and the venues can and will cancel shows due to factors such as low ticket sales, Chris goes deeper. Chris doesn't blame himself, he doesn't blame Trapt, he doesn't blame low sales or lack of fan support. He blames cancel culture. He claims that trolls have continued to lie about things he said 5 years ago. Now, not for nothing, every word that this guy said is on the internet somewhere. The internet doesn't forget. Neither do any of the random schmucks, such as myself, who more than definitely screenshotted these arguments and sent it to their friends filled with "this guy's such a dildo" and crying emojis. Chris is trying to blame everyone else for what he said and how he acted. The only thing he apologized for was joking about statutory rape. He's conveniently forgot about the rest. Well, Chris, as headstrong as you may be, you took on everyone and you lost. Maybe people are just tired of your mediocre songs, and maybe the fact that 5 years later you're still blaming everybody else for your issues. If you've truly moved on, your name wouldn't be in the headlines. Good luck with that ego, amigo. Alright, guys, so now is the time where I'm going to play you my conversation that I just had with Resist Temptation. They are truly lovely people. To put it as easily as I can. I had such a good time talking to them. They're so nice, they're so friendly. They're such a good band too. They truly are like crushing it right now. And they're coming out with new music. They have more shows coming up. They will be at MGR Fest, so make sure you check them out. I am very happy to present this conversation that I had with Katie, Phil, Dylan, and Sandy. Please enjoy, and I'll talk to you afterwards. So, welcome to the Face the Music podcast, guys. I'm here with Resist the Temptation. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Busy day.
I'm just gonna have you guys, if you wouldn't mind, go around and introduce yourselves. We'll start with you, Katie. You're on my left, so we'll go around.
I'm Katie. I play the bass. I do a little vocals too.
And Dylan.
My name's Dylan. I play guitar in the band, handle all the rhythms and leads as well.
And Phil.
Hey, I'm Phil, and I'm the drummer.
The most drummer response, dude. I love it.
Sarcasm.
And then I guess I'm last. Hey everybody, I'm Sandy B. Lead. Yeah.
Oh, there it is, the Zoom leg. Sandy, say that one more time.
I feel like we're on a news channel. This is Sandy B. On site. No, sorry. Sandy B, lead singer of Resist the Temptation. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Welcome to the show, guys. It's a pleasure to have you on. So I like to keep things real casual. No scripted questions or anything, and I kind of just like to see where it goes. So we'll just flow with it. How long have you guys been a band for?
Like 5.5 years.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're not quite new,
Yeah.
but definitely not like an older band yet. Was
Yeah.
that
Yeah. You know, I mean, I feel like we're new. Like, because like it's taken us a while to like, you know, get our stuff together, get, you know, what we want to be doing, what we want to sound like. So it feels still pretty new to me, but that's because we keep evolving and we keep like changing and getting better. So that's how it feels to me. I still feel like we're a young band, but we're definitely getting our name out there.
So now about 5.5 years, I guess that puts you like 2019 going into 2020, right?
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
exactly what the issue
Yeah.
was too.
Yeah.
The whole pandemic's crashed and whatever before we could put like any music out. So it kind of put us on a halt for a while.
That's kind of one of the worst times to start a band, let alone manage a band that's already been in process. Like it was difficult. Like that was the last band I was in, ended during 2020, and it was weekly rehearsals and then nothing. Had to drop off the face of the earth because we were terrified to be in the same room as each other. But like, as a new band, I'm glad you guys made it through, and I'm glad you stuck it out because what you're putting out is amazing. So, I'd say it's worth the wait.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Of course. And now with shows and stuff, like how did that affect you like your first few years? Like when was your first actual live show?
Rams in 2021.
Yeah. We played Rams Pub. That was like
Yeah.
our first.
Rest
Well,
in peace.
Yeah.
Actually, if
We
you want to
did Martini. That was
Hold
our
on.
first.
That was an
right?
open mic. Yeah, we did a couple open
That was an
mics
open
before we
mic.
played that.
Okay.
That was an open mic.
That was open mic.
yeah.
Us bringing all of our stuff into an open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like just giving so much power after hearing like all the acoustic sets before us.
They kept pushing off our sets because they were like, okay, we'll just put one more acoustic set before you guys, and then you guys can set all of your stuff up. And yeah, we definitely were that band.
Been there before.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well,
Honestly,
you
it's a good
have
time.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
How else are you gonna get a crowd, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Experience,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys were around for Even Flow. I did their last open mic night with my old band Logan's Room, and we were the only metal band. Like everyone else was
Oh
doing
wow,
acoustic
yeah.
or spoken
Yeah.
word or rap, and then there's us. And
Yeah.
we again brought all our own equipment, piled all our shit on stage, and I mean people stayed. I'm happy they stayed, but we did it because it was the last one. Like we had never done one before, so we're like, yeah, you know what? We're never gonna get the opportunity again. Let's just make some noise and have fun. But worth it, 100% worth it.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, definitely R.I.P. Rams. I miss that place. That's such a good spot.
It
Yeah.
really was. It was like a hometown show, like the epitome of hometown show, and
Hmm.
I feel like we're really lacking that in the scene now.
You guys are from out east?
I'm in Port Jeff.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
you're
it's
right in
I'm
the
all
area.
over.
I'm the furthest out east.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm from Kings Park.
Oh, okay. So you're a little bit
Mm.
further.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm in Deer Park and Phil's very far.
Phil
Well,
left.
Yeah, Phil left us.
well, happy where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. But Matt, it's funny you bring up Even Flow
Yeah.
because my old my old band, my first show was at Even Flow, and we
Yeah.
went up for a band called Awake at Last,
Oh, I know them.
and it was a fun show. It was a fun show to say the least.
What was your old band?
Stage was like, if you've been there, you know how legendary that stage is
Yeah.
of everything going on. So if you know, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your old band's name?
Invade the Sun.
Invade the Sun. I feel like we might have played together at one point. Pretty good chance. I know that name.
You might. I know we played out. I know
Yeah.
we played out, so there's probably a good chance we played and never knew each other.
Yeah. That's the case with a lot of bands in the scene, is that you reconnect down the road. You're like, oh shit, we did all this stuff together down the road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Sandy, we're basically neighbors. I'm right in West Islip.
Oh, nice.
So good to meet you, neighbor. Um, yeah, that's cool. But like you're absolutely right, Katie. We do need more local hometown type venues because like I mean what we have is okay, but it used to be so much better, you know.
Yeah, there used to be a lot more options.
Yeah. Especially going east. Now there's legitimately nothing. There's Shakers and then that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of breweries like I see popping up with a lot of shows and
Yeah.
opening the rooms to have shows, but you know, it's not the
Yeah.
same. It's not a bar, you know, like it's
Yeah.
it's definitely there's something different about Rams,
Mhm.
or like something like Rams or Shakers where it's just yeah, it's just definitely different
Like a
than a
like
brewery.
a community. I feel like they
Yeah.
build up a good community
100%.
around the music
Uh,
scene.
I was just gonna say Rams was special because they had a built-in crowd that was there for that kind of music. And
Yes.
you don't get that at Shakers. You get like the neighborhood, you know, I don't want to call them the neighborhood drunks, but like the neighborhood drunks, the guys that
The
go there,
locals, yeah.
they go there, get absolutely
The
hammered, and then
regulars.
just shit all over the bands. But
And again, they complain if you ask them to for a cover.
yeah,
Yeah.
they lose their minds if you ask them to pay a cover. Um, yeah, nah, I miss that community side of it. Um, Even so, like Amityville Music Hall is gorgeous now. They built it up so nice, but like it's not the same in terms of like you can go there on a Friday night. Now it's like everything is such a high-end ticketed show
It's a big thing,
and
yeah.
yeah. The I mean there's other venues that are popping up. So hopefully some of them actually catch on
Mhm.
and stick around for a while because we do need it. We need more than two places on Long Island.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
So I ask every band because it's kind of a requirement if you're interviewing a band, but what are your influences?
They vary
Yeah.
between the four
They
of us. Yeah.
We all listen to
They're
different kinds of music.
So
Yeah, there might
individually,
be
what
like some common ones, but uh I'll go first. Individually, I I grew up on rock. I grew up on like emo
Hmm.
rock, alternative rock, a little bit of punk. But then when I got a little older and I started singing more, I felt like I enjoyed singing like more pop, or now I'm getting more into like R&B. So, which seems so like far away from what we're doing, but
not really.
I've managed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you like if you listen to the music, like I've managed to like mold them to get kind of so
Think we lost you.
because that's definitely something they're not used to.
Mm,
Um, and I just kind of push it. And I'm glad they let me do that. So that's kind of where my influence comes from.
that's cool. A lot of I'm finding a lot of metal musicians, a lot of people in metal bands actually do reference hip hop, rap, R&B a lot more than you would think.
Hmm.
So it's not even that uncommon to hear. Even myself personally, I love all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not an uncommon thing at all, especially like pop music too, which is funny because bunch of metalheads in a room, how many of them know every pop music, every pop song you put on the PA, you know?
Yeah.
Katie, what about you? What's some of your personal influences?
Um, I don't know. I listen to everything. I literally like to. I obsess over different kinds of music. I anything female fronted, anything with a woman, I kind of just like gravitate to.
Hmm.
I want to have that equal that equality, that sex equality in music. So I try to push for as many female artists as possible. But I don't know, I listen to a lot of punk, a lot of like hardcore, some, of various kinds of metal. I really like sludge. I really like doom, I like black metal, stuff like that. So yeah, everything. Indie,
Hmm.
um, everything. So like are we specific influences or just like genre influences? Like what are we
Whatever.
talking?
Whatever made you want to do what you do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess just going to shows maybe want to do what I want to do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just wanted to be on stage, wanted to do art. So,
You have to be psyched about all the female bands that are coming out now.
oh
The
yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
the ladies are kicking ass right now. Like,
They really are. Like Face Yourself, Dying Wish,
hmm.
Spirit Box, obviously,
Spirit Box is
like
fantastic.
so many amazing bands.
Even locally, I don't know if you have to know Casey Carlson, right? And
Oh yeah,
Deadlands.
Deadlands,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
to know them.
The Kundalini was really cool with the pretty the what is it, the Pretty Wild they're called. They're
Yeah,
awesome. They're
yeah.
really cool.
I wasn't expecting what I got with that. I know Casey, like I know her music and her style, but that blew my mind. I
Yeah,
turned that
it's
song on and was like,
good.
holy shit.
Yeah.
That was unreal. Dylan, what about you, dude?
Um, so I kind of have like a little bit of like for me like my favorite band is like Disturbed. Disturbed is like one of the entire reasons that I play guitar. Like The Sickness is my favorite album of all time. I love new metal, like any new metal, and my dad like kind of exposed me to like 80s hair metal when I was like younger, so like that was technically my first like exposure to metal. So I kind of have like you know that sort of background, like alternative metal slash metal is really my realm for like influences and stuff like that.
That's cool, man. I've said for a long time, especially for Disturbed, they are so underappreciated if you break them down into the individuals that play in that band.
Yeah.
John is one of the best bassists I've ever heard live. Dan had such a stranglehold on me when 10,000 Fists came out. All I wanted to do was be Dan Donegan.
Yeah.
And Mike is probably the most criminally underrated drummer in metal.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to the things that that guy does, it's truly insane. So
Yep.
like Disturbed as a whole, I'm with you all the way on that. And new metal, I mean, That's my shit.
Yep. Yep.
Phil, what about you, man?
I'd probably say for me, I mean, I'm kind of similar to Sandy. Growing up, like Fall Out Boy, Paramore, a little bit of Linkin Park, bands like that. I grew up
Hmm.
listening to a lot. And then high school, my dad he's like, "Hey, check this band out." Ends up being Rammstein. I'm like, I can dig this. And I
That's
never
sick.
tell people, but you have music taste that I go listen to around here or there. But usually, because I live up in Connecticut, and usually I jump on the ferry.
Hmm.
And over in Katy usually picks me up, and we have our own like little thing of, "Hey Phil, listen to this. I found this band," or "Hey Katie, I found this band. Check them out."
Right.
So
Right.
Katie are always bouncing like new bands off each other, always listening to new music. So it's pretty much a cool way that thing that Katie and I have going on with like discovering new music with each other. And I don't know how many other people do that, but I know my basis is cool with that.
Bonding. Aw,
Connecticut's got a good scene too
they
over
do,
there.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Really, really good music scene, especially for metal and punk. Like actually one of the better ones that I've actually played with. Um, them and like Syracuse took me by complete surprise. I was like, oh my God, they have thunderous amounts of people that come out to those shows just because there's a show. But
If you've heard of
We never got to play.
there's a band up here in Connecticut. We've actually done like I think a couple shows with them, and they're like really good friends of ours. They're over in Dystopica.
okay.
They're pretty much a bunch of really cool people. If you've never heard of them, go check their music out. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not paying me to shout them out, but they're nice people overall. They're nice people.
They
See,
should. That was a good shout out.
see, I
Well,
thought you were gonna say Syro Valley
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Syro Valley too. Those are homies.
because we just played with them.
Oh, cool.
them too.
I used to know a band up there. I think they're pretty much done at this point, but they were called Crossing Rubicon. Um, it featured Jean, who used to be the bassist for All That Remains, and her husband Scott, and they were awesome, awesome people too, like genuinely good people. Um, I think they broke up though. Scott's got a new thing going on. I don't remember the name of his band, but they turned into like more of a punk outfit, punk mixed with hard rock. If I could think of the name, or if I find them, I'll send them over to you guys. I think you'd like them.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, Connecticut's got a sick scene. And it's cool
Oh,
that
we
you're
love
just a ferry
Connecticut.
ride away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And a 40-minute drive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so walk me through your year. Did you guys start recording like just the single this year, or did you do the like an album? Like what was life leading up to the single release?
Oh, for
Stress.
this year.
Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah.
Stress.
That-
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Stress.
stress.
Well,
It was. I mean,
hey, to be completely fair,
yeah.
it's
It was a lot of pressure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
however, the reward was worth the stress.
for sure,
The
for
reward
sure.
Yeah.
definitely worth the stress.
Yeah.
So
Um,
really, what we did was we recorded an EP in the beginning of the year. Um, that was like probably what the second week of January that we did that, but we
Yeah.
had after Halloween to solidify everything. So we had one
Okay.
song written completely before that moment, and then we had 2 months to get everything else done because we're like, we're not pushing this off. We've gone 2 years without releasing music. Like we got to get this done. So we did, and we were very happy with the outcome. So we released one song already. We have three more coming, and yeah.
When you planned on releasing Hypnotize, did you expect to get the reaction you got?
no.
No?
I was
I
hoping. I
mean,
mean, I was
Yeah. Yeah.
hoping,
I,
I was just
I
like,
mean, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna like echo that. Like, I mean, we've like our previous releases that we've done, like we started out with like Awoken and actually no, it's like we did like Unfair and Defiant, and then we started doing like a couple other songs, like, now we consider our older stuff, which is crazy to even say that now. It's like, we've been playing it for so long, but we had like a release plan with like pretty much everything that we've ever done. But like with these new songs, you learn from your previous, experiences. And we had a release plan that we come up with to like kind of release these songs, and it's like, okay, like we're gonna do all these marketing and make some content and some videos, and like I don't know, within like I think the first day we got over 100 streams, which is really good. And then like after that, we did some like promo and videos, and all of a sudden I think the song now is almost at like 1,400 streams, and
Oh wow.
it's only been out for like
A month.
a month,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
is like pretty awesome. I don't know what the math is
Yeah.
on that, but it's really good. That's all I know. It's like so it was
Yeah.
As
Can I
I
just say, oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no, go.
Can I just say that like we've been playing Hypnotize for a while now, probably a year, right? Like
Mhm.
since
Yeah.
last Halloween.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like Billy, our producer, he knocked it out of the park. Like I did not know that song could sound
To get
so
better.
good.
Yeah.
Like it was so much better. Like he just amplified it. Like
He made it
and
massive.
yeah, and then like once I heard it, like actually like, mixed and mastered, I was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome. Like this has to be big." Like I really hope people hear this and like I hope it gets big. I hope people spread it.
As I was saying to you guys before the stream started, I knew the song dropped because everybody was posting about it. And after I saw like 3 or 4 people's stories on Instagram, I was like, all right, I gotta sit down and check the song out for myself because what I'm hearing in like 30 seconds was too damn good. So I turned it on and I was like, wait, where the fuck has this band been? How do I not know who they are by now? That one thing I think legitimized you guys in this scene harder and faster than I think I've ever seen a band legitimize themselves. In
Wow.
one day, you guys made an impact. I
Wow.
was like, wow.
Mhm.
Um,
That's nice
immediately,
to hear.
like I
That's
the
really nice to hear. We
my
put so much work into it, you know?
my first reaction was, holy shit, I have to get them on my top 10 and I have to sit down and talk to them at some point.
Mhm.
And then I see you guys start popping up everywhere now. Like more shows are being announced, and you guys are at MGR Fest, which I'm so excited for because that's gonna probably be the first time I get to see you guys live. Um, but I'm excited. You guys got so much stuff going on, and like now to find out there's a whole EP coming out, and that's exciting. I'm really happy for you guys. You deserve it.
Thank
Thank,
you.
You're putting out
thank,
quality stuff, and
thank
like
you.
hopefully this
Yeah.
takes you to the next level. I think that like if the rest of the EP is as good as the one song, you guys are set.
Oh
Just
yeah.
don't lose the momentum because I think it's going to be all uphill.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank,
yeah, this is definitely like this EP is like RTT to like the max. Like we definitely stepped it up
Hmm.
Yeah,
for these songs.
I totally agree with that. And like the thing that I've said at least is like it's a good problem to have. Like
Yeah.
when you have good songs coming up, and you're like, when we came out with the stuff that we did before, like forever grateful for like everything that, got the streams and everything, and you just sit there and you're like, man, how are we gonna do this again? And the endless hours of sitting in Katie's room coming up with stuff like
yeah.
it's like
And
you watch it blossom, and it's just like it's amazing how we got here. Like we did it. We did it
I want
again.
to piggyback off of that too because it's interesting to me that we're gaining this traction like you're saying, Matt, but we're putting in less work than we did the previous years because we put for every release that we did, we had five songs that we really tried to push before Hypnotize.
Mhm.
We released a video for every single day for 6 weeks. Wasn't that? It was like what seven
Yeah.
times 42 videos per song, and
Hmm.
Holy
we were
shit.
pushing that out
That's a
every day.
lot.
But now we're doing it twice a week and we're still seeing results. So it's
Yeah.
like we're changing things up a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
still I guess giving us the results that we want.
Yeah. We're being more strategic. We know
Work
a little more what
smarter.
we're
Yeah,
doing. Yeah, this time around.
right.
Less chaos.
Social media has become a game with how you
Yeah.
have to release
Mhm.
everything, and it does have to be very strategic, down to honest to God, the time of day on what day you decide to release something, that's how you'll get the most traction.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
When I was starting this, I was like, well, I don't know how frequently that I want to like drop an episode. I don't know what day is best. And I started taking a course on social media, and like it's so hard to keep up with because like they say like Tuesdays and Thursdays are your peak days between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. because that's when most people are on their lunch breaks. And like they have it figured out to a science. But
Mhm.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like if you guys are seeing success with something, keep doing it. Because whatever
That's
you're doing,
essentially what we're doing. We're
yeah,
posting on
That's
Tuesdays and
exactly, yeah.
Fridays, but we're
yeah,
doing it
Sometimes
like around
we
10
do
o'clock.
Thursdays too.
We do,
Yeah.
yes, we do
Yeah.
Thursdays as well.
We do Thursdays.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, around 10 o'clock. Yeah.
yeah. I started like just doing Fridays because my episodes at first were like 24 minutes, and then actually that's not fair to say. Episode 1 was 24 minutes. Episode 2 was 2.5 hours. So like
Oh my gosh.
with that, I'm like, all right, I gotta. I don't know if you guys know John Gunther. He was in Typhon Rising. He ended up moving out to Indiana a couple years back, but I had him on because he's been supportive of this the whole way. So I'm like, yeah, dude, you know what? Come on, talk, and it'll be a fun thing. And again, I'm not big on cutting things if the conversation's good. So we went well over 2.5 hours, and I ended up trimming it down to that. Um, but yeah, I was like, if it's going to be this long, I might as well stick to Fridays because at least people have the weekend to not worry about like, oh, I have to go to work, I can't listen.
Right.
It's all a part of
Right.
that
Yeah.
shit. The one I did last
Mhm.
week was 3 hours and 42 minutes. So I'm like, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot.
Sounds like an RTT meeting.
Yes. Oh no.
Yeah, we had to limit ourselves.
Oh yeah.
We have to stop ourselves.
We did something at one point where we were just like putting a timer and we're like, okay, 5 minutes per topic. Like
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
structure ourselves. It's
We're
getting
like-
out of control.
And did it work?
Yeah.
It did. We stopped doing it. I mean,
I don't think it worked. No. You know what helped is that we had more meetings.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
meeting
So,
every week now.
Like
Yeah.
the more frequent you have your meetings, the more you can like get out what you need
Mhm.
in that time. So like you're not
Right.
spending 3.5 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's
Once
all
a
on the
month,
phone.
you know.
Oh,
It's
that's
on,
Or
brutal.
like,
do like a video
Facebook.
call like this.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm finding out like now, the more I talk to more bands, the more bands are actually structuring things like that, and that's cool because like
Mhm.
it's such a different dynamic that so many people are introducing into their bands now, and bands are staying so much more cohesive now because of it, which is really good to see. A lot more bands are sticking around longer. Instead of like we'll have our meetings after rehearsal, and then when everyone's packing up, they're just screaming over each other because no one can hear because someone's on the drum kit, and like it's
Right. Yeah, you kind of have to separate it. And I think
Mhm.
all of us, like, we all have a mindset where we're like, yes, we're friends and we work really well together, but we're also like partners. This is kind of like a business for us. This is a way for us
Mhm.
to try to focus on a career. Like, so we kind of take it seriously.
That's
Like we're
the
not. We'll go and we'll have drinks. Like me and Dylan will have some drinks sometimes, but we're not like at practice shooting the shit, drinking beers or whatever. We're kind of just like very business oriented and trying to keep,
Mhm.
our focus.
that's
Yeah.
incredibly smart.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I try to tell people like when you're launching a band, you're not launching your music, you're launching your brand. You know,
Correct.
whatever the name of your band is, that's what you're actually launching. And the
Mhm.
music is there to boost it, but you're marketing yourself, you're selling yourself, and it is a business. You're 100% right. That's a good mentality to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean that we don't have fun.
No,
Like,
yeah, we definitely do have fun.
the four of us clown around all the time.
We do.
Like so many inside jokes and just so many videos of us messing around with each other.
Yeah.
Allie kicked me in
Yeah,
the face with
definitely
the
have
recycling bin the other day.
Oh God.
Good job, Sandy. You kicked.
Knock my
Oh,
hat off, man. For
Alex.
such a nice
It's so
person.
good.
Sandy,
I have 7 different
bully,
nicknames.
man.
It's all good.
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm so bad with that.
Yeah, don't let that smile fool you, dude. Sandy's a-
Oh, I didn't mean to. Okay.
Oh, I told her to. I told her to. It made for a good video.
I did
You'll see it soon.
I did it for the vine.
Did it for
Well, don't do
Oh boy.
Oh,
You
that's
guys will
funny.
see that video soon. We're just making content. Like we love making content. We love making
Yeah.
these stupid little skits and funny things that we come up with our own
Yeah.
little personalities.
Mhm.
It's great. It's always a good time.
I
It's
saw the
fun.
one that came out, I guess, this week or last week with Dylan jumping out of like random
Yeah.
places.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, like the amount of times I almost tripped and fell on my back, bro.
And it was cold. It was very cold
It
Oh,
was
too.
Yeah,
no.
it was
cold, and like
cold.
there are a few instances where like I think like you knew it was coming, but I still scared you, Sandy.
Yes. No, because you came up to me like in my face. Like
Dude, that's funny.
didn't expect
It was great.
that.
Yeah, we like that one.
Yeah, we like doing those things.
Dylan, you're smaller than Phil. Hide behind Phil and then jump out of nowhere. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we prop people that were walking by were like, what are they doing?
Yeah, we've done a lot of funny things like that. Like Dylan doing his Irish kick in the air.
Yeah.
He's done
Yeet.
that before. Yeet. Yeah. Yeet. Yes. That's in there somewhere in Instagram. I don't know where it is. It's like far back. I don't even remember what he was like, what the content was
Yeah.
about. Like I don't know what we were trying to push out at that
Might have been a
time.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. And
When
then there was
Dylan
one of
when
us.
jig Sandy, it was for Defiant.
Oh,
Oh, was it
it was
Defiant?
for Defiant? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What was the one where we were rolling on the dirty floor in the
We
studio?
did that. I think that was for Awoken and Defiant.
I thought it was more.
Oh, okay. I think we did
Oh,
for two.
it
We
might
did
have been
for two.
Mirage.
Yes. It
Yeah,
was
we did for
Mirage.
two.
Yeah.
Usually, like some kind of humor in
Yeah.
our reels for any of our music.
Mhm.
There's a good chance I'm behind it. There's a good chance I'm the man
True.
behind
Dylan and Phil are the ones. Yeah.
Mastermind.
the master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
cool
know.
that you guys do it and you just make fun with it. Like
Oh,
you don't take it seriously, and I love that kind of shit. When I see that with bands, that resonates with me. That makes me want to like get into your music because you got to have a personality about it. Too many people are too uptight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can't take yourself too seriously either.
No,
Like
absolutely
enjoy
not.
yourself.
No. No.
Like I don't. Are you guys familiar with the band Resistor at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just interviewed them 2 weeks ago now, and I had so much fun talking to them because the entire time we were laughing. Like, those are some of the funniest dudes that I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. They they were telling me about like their Beyblade tournaments and stuff, and I told them like Dead Within Days also runs Beyblade tournaments at their
Yeah.
tables. So they issued an open challenge to Dead Within Days, and
That's awesome.
I love that.
Great.
I filmed it. I had I had Grambo get close to the camera. I was like, dude, issue the challenge straight to the camera. I'll make this a reel. I'll share it. Open challenge. And now Dead Within Days is coming on, I think, next week to answer that challenge. But
Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
their
We love Dead
guitarist,
Within Days.
the Resistor guitarist, Conti, just like, yeah, you can catch us on Jerkmate Competitive and Chatterbait. And I was like, oh my God, dude.
I can bet you couldn't resist that one.
God.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't resist the temptation for that one. Mhm.
Turbo puns. But yeah, it's important especially since you guys do what you do. Like you're releasing kick-ass music, but you're also making videos to support it, and they're funny. So it's good that like you guys can laugh at yourselves and know what you're doing is for humor.
Mhm.
Because it shows that you guys have fun and it shows that you guys are friends, you know, and that resonates a lot with new consumers too.
Mhm.
You want to know that the people that you're checking out are going to be in it for the long run, and that little sign of friendship makes them say like, okay, I can buy into this because it's safe. They're not gonna be that band that I love today and then they're gone tomorrow.
Right.
So it's cool to see that with you guys.
Yeah. I totally.
That butters.
It is Butters.
Butters.
So what do you guys have coming up? I saw that you had a few shows that you announced.
Oh yeah.
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 Um, we have a New Jersey show upcoming this month in at Jimmy's Bar and Grill.
May
And
23rd.
May 23rd. Thank you, Sandy. And then we have a hometown show in June that we're waiting on to announce at Whiskey Rocks.
Okay.
Um, and then we're doing a weekend runner. Actually, for the first time, we're going to play in Massachusetts
Oh,
uh,
cool.
at like a VFW. Like it's really cool. Like it's called the Tank, and like in the front of it, it has like a tank in the front of like the VFW, and it's
That's
like
sick.
really sick. So we're playing with a bunch of like Massachusetts bands. And then the next day we're playing at Cherry Street Station in Wallingford. Um, in July, that's what we have for June. And then in July we're doing the Moon Groove
Yeah.
Festival, which I'm very, very excited about. That's going to be a really, really great show.
Yeah.
Um, and
Super
then
stacked lineup on that show too.
oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be
insane
a lot of
lineup.
fun.
Mhm.
Insane lineup. And like if you've never been to Uber Geek, it's a really cool place. Like they
Yeah,
have
I didn't even know it existed until the
yeah.
show got announced.
Yeah, I got to go down. Me and Rob and Tom like went down there to like, scope it out, and like the
Hmm.
people were so nice, and like we kind of like talked about like where the bands are gonna play, and like it's gonna be like sort of like two stage like kind of model, like so that way it's a lot easier for bands to like kind of play, so they're not waiting for the next one to like break down and then set back up and play. So we've got some heavy hitters, and a lot of work went into it for sure.
Yeah.
So shout out to Tom from Moon Groove, because he did a phenomenal job, putting it all together.
Yeah, I give Tom his flowers, dude. I've been shouting this festival out every week since I got invited to be a part of it, which I think was basically at its inception. Um,
Hmm.
but to see it building up the way it is, man, it's so cool. And like
Yeah.
all of you guys are doing such a good job with it. It's nuts. The
Mhm.
fact that you guys are taking such a big concept and you're condensing it to Long Island. I mean, not just Long Island because this band's from like Virginia and
Hmm.
you know, out of staters coming through, but it's cool that you're pulling it off. This is something that Long Island has needed for a long, long time,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
finally happening.
Yeah.
So
I
kudos,
agree.
man.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean it's not, you get some really good people in there that care about the scene, that have been in the scene for way longer than me. So, I haven't been in Moon Groove for that long, but it's honestly a really great group of people, and I'm
Yeah,
happy that like, Resist the Temptation can like be a part of it, and like, they're good, they're really good people. They care about the bands, and like they care about our local scene. So,
yeah.
um it's going to be a great show. And then we just have like one more show in August um, with our friends in Honey Trap, who's also a really good band that you should check out. They're like a
Yeah.
female-fronted like hard rock band, and
Okay.
they are making waves right
They
now.
got some great music videos out too.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Where are they
Um,
from? From Long Island?
I think they're Queens
they're
based.
Yeah.
Queens.
Queens.
They're from Queens.
Queens.
So they're really cool. Maybe we'll recommend them to you, because they're really awesome people.
Yeah, I'll check them out for sure.
They're really, really cool. And then, of course, we have our annual Halloween show that we do
Oh
every,
yeah.
every year. And it's gotten bigger and better every single year. We do that with Devin and Days and Pathmaker, who
Oh,
are
cool.
homies. And like every year, that's our biggest show of the year. So we always do really great, and that's the show we look forward to every single year.
It's always a good one.
Yeah.
Oh
You know what's
yeah.
funny
Usually the best
is
show of the year.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you guys normally hold that?
Um, at the Polish American Club in Port Jefferson, New
Okay.
York. It's right next to the fire station.
Oh,
So
all right. I know where that is.
yeah, so we kind of like get, it all organized, we decorate it, and then
Mhm.
we go to work and we sell tickets, and like last year we did like about 175 tickets, I think,
Holy
sold.
shit, dude.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like we
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 went nuts.
we we had
Like,
to post a few times and be like, this is not a drill. Like, we might sell the venue out. Please buy a
Wow.
ticket. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it
Jesus,
was,
that's wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone works really hard, and like it's always a good event every year. We do better and better every single year. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well, you got my backing for it. So when you have a date and everything, let me know and I'll start shouting that out for you too.
thank you.
Do it.
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny. All the bands you just mentioned are like legitimately my next 4 weeks.
Cool.
Nice.
I have Dead Within Days next week. I have Tom Gallagher after that. I have Pathmaker a couple weeks after that. Like
Heck yeah.
all
Oh
good
wow.
people.
That's
All
awesome.
the all the all the homies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ironically, how many of them I found through Moongroove is I think almost all of them.
yeah.
So Moongroove is doing the damn thing, man.
Yep.
But where is you said Whiskey Rocks? Is
Hmm.
another one? I've never heard of that venue. Where is that?
Old Sinclair's.
Oh, okay. Right in West Bab.
Yep.
hmm
Okay. Cool.
But they revamped it. Like
Is
they
it
have
nice
a, like
now?
an
There's a
actual
stage.
Yeah.
stage.
It's kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely a shithole before, so
I mean, it's
It's okay.
yeah,
But
like
it didn't have like a proper situation, you know?
yeah,
So, but now they do. Like they made like an actual stage and you
that's
can
awesome.
have like room to like actually dance and hang out.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
that's
a
sick.
legitimate venue now. Like they have a proper stage and like
a good sound system.
yeah, good
Oh,
sound system. So like it's actually a good place to play for sure.
I mean, I haven't been there probably like 2016.
Wow,
When I
yeah,
was
yeah.
there, like it was all floor shows. So I don't know if there was
Yeah.
ever a stage there, but like I haven't walked in that place in a long time.
Yeah.
But it's cool that they built it up. And I mean, it sucks that Tom Sinclair sold the venue. He was a good dude, but
Hmm.
if it's for the better for the scene, like I'll take it. You know, we need that.
hmm
Like we were
Yep.
saying before, we need more.
Hmm.
But that's cool. I'll have to go check it out. When is that one again?
The
Uh,
31st?
June
No,
14th.
June
June.
14th. Okay.
We haven't officially announced it yet, but that's the
Well,
date. It's on our website.
okay.
So,
I was gonna say as of Friday, that's out. So
yeah, yeah. It's okay. We'll announce it pretty soon, so it's all good. We put it on our website. It's fine.
nice. And just for everyone listening, what is your website?
Um,
resistthetemptationband.com.
Cool.
yep.
And I mean, aside from shows, you have like a merch link or
Yes.
Yeah,
all that stuff?
We just got new merch that we're
Oh,
new
like
cool.
merch. We
super
got it.
stoked about.
Very
We also
cool.
have a Patreon as well.
Patreon, yeah. Yeah, we so a little bit more about the merch though. We just got a big cartel website that we're using to sell our
Oh,
merch.
cool.
Yeah, and we have two new t-shirt designs. One of them shows our new symbol that we had made for our band.
Mhm.
And then the other one is kind of like a different version of the RTT symbol, but like more metal.
Yeah.
And the one that has like it, I call it the flame symbol, but it could be interpreted in many different ways, the symbol. That one comes in tank tops.
The racer back.
So razorback tank
It's like a
tops.
female kind of style, I
Yeah,
So
guess.
yeah,
yeah.
I just pulled up your website, so I'm seeing what you're talking about too. That's cool. And it kind of looks like a phoenix to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
buddy.
that's cool.
Phoenix, flower, like rose, a flame obviously is in there.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah, I just kind of like when we were making it, like I just kind of wanted it to like resemble a lot of different things,
Yeah.
so that it could be taken in whatever way um, the viewer saw it.
And you said the RTT is the newer one?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's like a hardcore metal version of
That looks
RTT.
sick.
Yeah, Katie did
Nice job.
it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
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 Very cool, man.
Thank you.
So do you do a lot of graphic design, Katie, or you just
I do a lot for the band. Yeah, I actually
yeah.
want to get more into it. I really like doing like all the the photos we had done by my friend Valentine Edwards.
Hmm.
But like all of the banners and stuff, I did that. Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
I'm trying to do better with the videos and whatnot. So yeah, I really
Yeah.
want to dabble more into graphic design.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, Katie and I handle a lot of like the art
Yes,
portion of it all. So
like the
like we'll
cover
do like
arts
the
and
album
stuff.
art. Yeah, the
Yeah,
album arts and like I did the flame symbol and she did the new RTT
That's cool.
symbol. So yeah, like we just kind of tag team it and help each other out.
I
yeah,
mean,
like I
is that something you just drew up, or you did it on the computer and mocked
The
it,
flame
or
symbol
yeah, or
or
the
the
RTT, or
RTT thing. Um, I just, yeah, I mean, I just drew it up on the computer and then just kind of manipulated it over and over and over
that's exactly what I did
until I
too. So
liked it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's really all you can do. Like I
yeah.
have like a tablet that I can draw on, so I was just doing it over.
Yeah.
So many different versions.
see this is my cap. My background is my cap for as far as I've ever gotten with graphic design. I went on Google and I typed in like heavy metal font, and then I uploaded it to a program and just typed it out. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of that shit, so kudos, hats off to
Oh
you
yeah.
guys because that's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, I definitely want
Yeah.
to be more like I like being creative in multiple senses.
Hmm.
Like when I was doing the hypnotized art, I was really into or thinking about like the Twilight Zone and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely different kinds of inspiration from different things that I like. And with the logo, I actually did what you did, and I found a font that I liked, and I kind of like typed it out, and then I manipulated it into a shield
Hmm.
kind of, and then like I just drew all the things that I wanted, so because they were in all those drippy kind of weird things on it. So yeah, just a lot of what Ali like Sandy said, just a lot of manipulation to stuff you already just threw.
That's cool. And I mean, don't take your foot off the gas with that because like that's such a good thing to go into, especially being in a band. And it's also something you can market to other people too. There's good money in graphic design, especially within
For
like the
sure.
music scene.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be like my next venture, I think. I'm just gonna post all the stuff that I've done and just be like, hey,
Yeah.
does anybody want this?
I've been wanting to
Yeah.
get more into like photography and shit. And like
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the different kinds of lenses and any of that. I have to learn a lot. But a
And there's
friend
a
of
lot to
mine,
learn. It's a lot.
so much.
It really is a lot.
Like I went to a show about a month ago now, and I took my friend's camera with me, and obviously I had my phone with me, but my phone was taking better pictures than the almost $1,000 camera. So I'm like, I'm doing something wrong here. This thing should not be just terrible.
It might be the ISO. You might have the ISO set too high
Mm.
or something
Just
like
call
that. Yeah.
Katie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just call Katie and like she'll take care of you.
So, aside from shows, you have the EP release coming up. You have another single coming out soon. Um, what's after that? Like, what's your 2026? Like, do you guys go back and work on new music,
Mm.
or you gonna do like any sort of touring?
Yeah, transparently, I don't
Yeah.
I try to we try to think about things like within like 3 to 6 months in advance. Just
Okay, good
like
plan.
to be honest, I haven't thought about what 2026 looks like, but I'll let you know in like September.
I think I think we want to do similarly to what we did this year. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the goal is
Yeah.
definitely to get back into the studio, release more music.
More music, yeah.
Will touring
Yeah.
happen? I don't know.
Hmm.
You know?
It's kind of
Yeah.
it's just
That's a
like
bigger monster to,
with like the costs that are involved in that and like,
Yeah.
I personally
yeah.
like as of right now, like I like to do just like weekend runs because like,
Yeah.
we have full-time jobs, the whole 9 yards. And it's like for me, like when we do weekend runs, like we try to like make it worth it. Like, we'll play
Hmm.
Massachusetts, we're driving like 4 hours to go play a show. It's like, well, let's make it worth it and find something that's like close within the area. So I do some research and like I try to like get some, a pulse on what's going on and like I book us another show within the area. So
Hmm.
it makes our trip worth it. Um, especially like if we're driving like that far out per se. So like that's kind of like um what we kind of work on, I would say. Like it's usually within a 3 to 6 month period that we start like really saying, okay, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
That's why we have weekly meetings
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
figure all that out as we go
Yeah.
along.
that makes sense. That's cool. And I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Especially as a smaller band, you don't want to be doing like the middle of the week shows because that's never going to be a good draw for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when
Um,
you are that small, like not a lot of people are going to be showing up, so it's like I personally don't want to burn myself out and like
yeah.
be like, well, my expectations are so high. Why aren't people coming to the shows? Like it's a slower process.
Yeah.
And it makes the shows more worthwhile. It gives us something to look forward to too.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
It's all about strategy. You guys definitely have that down. So
Yep.
that's cool that you're at least doing weekend runs though, because that's putting your name in other markets. That's smart. That's very,
Mhm.
Yeah. Been doing
great
that for a
idea.
while. Been
Yeah.
doing that for a while. Like we've been playing out of state for, oh boy, I don't even know, guys. Like probably after COVID.
Yeah,
20,
I want to say within the first year or two of us actually playing shows, we played out of state.
Oh wow.
yeah. That was like the first thing that we wanted to do. And like actually the first place we ever played was a place called Bleachers, which was in Connecticut. And like
Yeah.
Yeah.
our first out of state show like ever. And we're like, we're so cool. We're playing out of state.
Yeah.
Like
That's where
yeah,
the because Phil calls us me and Sandy the gentleman. So
yeah,
that's where that came from.
yeah.
And
That was a good
people just assume that we're all an all male band. So
Oh.
someone said like
If they
yeah.
don't look at us, that's
gentleman,
what they assume. Yeah.
Yeah, so we call Katie and Sandy the gentlemen now
the
because
gentleman.
like they were like, how are you gentlemen doing? They're like, gentlemen.
So, who wants to tell Matt where our first New Jersey show was?
Oh boy, that was a good one too. We our
Oh,
first New Jersey show ever, we played the Meat Locker.
yeah.
Oh, I was like,
The
what was
meat
For
that?
some
locker.
reason, I thought it was Dingbats, but it
Yeah, I
Nope.
thought it
wasn't.
was.
No,
Yeah,
it was the
Questionable name.
Meat Locker.
it, it's
Yeah,
in
questionable
I
place.
love that
Oh
place.
yeah.
No, I
Now,
love that
question.
place.
Kitty has
it's
a
in,
really weird
I love it too. I'm
taste.
with Katie.
I'm sorry.
The roaches just add the
It-
atmosphere.
Oh no,
Yeah. Oh
roaches.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's where I draw the line with most things. If there's roaches, I'm out.
Yeah, like
I,
the really quick thing that was cool about that place is like I forgot the town that it's in, but like the town is gorgeous. You got
Hmm.
people
Yeah.
walking around, you
Oh
got
yeah.
restaurants, it's like
Yeah.
beautiful. We're
It had a lot
driving.
of foot traffic.
Yeah, it had a
Yeah.
lot of foot traffic, and we're driving around and we're like, where is this place? We drove past like 4 times because
It's
there's no name.
it's just a
Oh
sign that says
shit.
basement.
Yeah, there's a sign. The sign literally says basement. And like I think me and like a couple of us went down to go load in and like Sandy was like in the car, like whatever. I think she was on a call. I come back up and I'm telling her, I'm like, you're gonna love this place. Like you go down there. It's like the dungeon in the Goonies. Like you go down there.
Crazy.
Oh my God. It's like there's like I don't know, graffiti and stickers and everything all over the walls. And then like there's just furniture in
Yeah.
random places.
It's very DIY, no bar or anything.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
literally they give you somewhere to play. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
that's kind of cool though.
you play
It
and
was.
that's
It,
it. Like
it
They
was
rolled
that's
out
all
the
they're gonna
base
guarantee
cab.
you.
The
yeah,
base cab they rolled it out is on 3 wheels.
yeah. But yeah, but like transparently, like the best part about playing that place was like we talked to some of the bands and some of the locals that were there. The amount of like you guys should play here, here's contact information. And ever since that show, we've started to play New Jersey like pretty much a lot. Like New
Yeah.
Jersey, like one of our second homes. Like we play New Jersey like quite a bit. We made a lot of friends in other bands from New Jersey. Shout out that new metal band. They're awesome. They're like they're homies. We played a couple of shows with them. They're a really cool cover band.
Weren't they
Um,
just here
yes,
over the summer, I think?
yes, yep. They were
Stereo Garden or
Yeah.
89 North.
They
It
played
was,
with the Rage Against the Machine band, I think.
Yeah.
yeah. It was, but they also played the
Mc
brewing company. What is it called?
McCull Mc
Okay,
Well,
he's
Mulcahy's.
they did play
Oh,
Mulcahy's,
yeah.
but they played City not City Sound.
The one
Uh
in Stony
Sand,
Brook, right? Or
Sand
Smithtown?
City. They played Sand
Oh,
City.
Sin.
oh,
Sand
okay.
City Brewing, the bigger one
Hmm.
that is like gigantic. They played that with like another band that we're friends with, Evanescence. They're like an
Oh, I know them. So,
gang.
all right. So, Evanescence, John Gunther was the male vocalist in Evanescence for a long time.
Mm,
Oh,
So that
okay.
ties back.
mm.
So if you know
Huh.
them, you probably have seen him at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, so like that's like kind of what they did, but like yeah, New Jersey's been good to us. So like we played a bunch of places there that we continue to play, and we continue to play like newer places too, which is awesome.
That's cool. The only other place I've ever played in New Jersey, I think it was called the Boneyard Grill. It was in Atlantic City.
Oh,
It's,
cool.
it was a,
Really?
it was in front of the Tropicana. So we're like, oh shit, we're playing in Atlantic City. And like this place was so beat down.
Uh,
And we got there, we're like, damn, dude, we got so excited. We're gonna like go drinking on the boardwalk and have fun. It's like, oh, that's it, huh? But
Matt,
we did play there a couple times though. Like as rundown as it was still a fun show. The thing that confused me to this day is we got yelled at for using a smoke machine because in New Jersey, a smoke machine is considered pyrotechnics. I was like, what the fuck? There's
there's no
nothing.
flames.
It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, that's considered pyro. I was like, all right, I guess.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
if I do say, Matt, I also played there too.
Oh, did you?
Yep,
You did.
same old band. Yeah.
Phil's
Oh,
been
that's funny, dude.
Phil has secretly played everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really finding that out.
However, have you played the Sherman Theater yet?
No.
Neither have I, but I played the place.
I played a place in um shit, I think it was New Hampshire and it was called the Rec Room. And like we drive all the way up there and we're looking for this place and we're like, there's no sign that says the Rec Room. What the fuck is going on here? There's a pizza place and a strip mall, and we're like, all right, what the hell's going on? So we call them. They're like, are you in front of the pizza place? I was like, yeah. They're like, come on in. What? Yeah, the rec room is off to the left side of our pizza place. We own both operations, so it's a pizza slash metal show place. I'm like,
Sick.
that's the strangest fucking thing I've ever heard. And
Wow,
then
That
like,
sounds
awesome.
awesome.
it was dope. It wasn't good pizza. Like it was
Oh.
okay, but
Well, it's New Hampshire. Coming from New York to New
Yeah.
Hampshire.
But they took care of us though. They
Yeah.
comped the pizza, they gave us drinks, they made sure like they didn't pay us shit, but they made sure that we had food and drinks. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's all
And
I need.
it's all good connections up there too. Like I'm still in contact with some of them, even though I'm not like really playing anymore, or at least at the moment. Um, but I mean the venue closed, but they opened up another place, so it's cool. If you guys ever make your way up there, like
Okay.
keep an eye out for it. Phil, are you raising your hand, dude?
Yes.
Yeah, he does that.
He does that.
Always.
just jump right in, brother.
Funny story you might say about New Hampshire. So, sorry guys, again, last story about them. But my old band, we ended up going up to New Hampshire. It was we were trying to find, like similar to yours, trying to find in front of a pizza place.
Mhm.
It was an old like billiards bar, and we're like, is this the place we're supposed to play at? Coolest place you'll ever be in.
Yeah.
I think the place closed down a few years ago because of some crazy stuff that happened, but it closed down. And shout out to Midnight Possession because I met them at that show.
Mhm.
Some of the chillest people you'll meet.
Oh, really?
Remember that show specifically? It was us and then them, and it was like a fun night overall. I remember going around. We tried to find like some strip mall. It had like a pizza place in it, like near that town.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this like really good taco place. Good burritos. I want to remember the name of it though, but I remember it had very good tacos.
So there's a win to that story.
Come for the
Just
pizza, stay for the tacos.
Speaking of like random restaurants in places, have you guys gotten the chance to play the Kingsland while it was still open?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool
a few
place.
times.
those there, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to open
Yeah.
for Darkest Hour there, and like that was fucking sick. But
I love that place.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
I-
so great while it was still there. It was just a bitch to get to. I hated driving there, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good place to have a show. And like they brought through bands there that I'm like, how are these bands on such a small scale now? Like Dragon Force played there. I was like, when the fuck did that happen? When did
What?
they when
Wow.
did they
What?
get
I didn't
unpopular
know
enough to
that. That's
play?
awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of mind blowing.
I mean, it is a big room. You could fit a lot of people in there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Dragon Force and Unleash the Archers on the same show. And I was like, dude, what? That belongs at a bigger place than
Wow.
that, I
Yeah.
think.
Maybe
Wow.
that date
Wow.
a filler show that they were just using to like in between bigger dates. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe.
possible.
Maybe they wanted to sell a place out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's the place to do it. If you have any sort of name, you sell that place out easy.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. So like in terms of like outer state, what would you say is probably your favorite state aside from home to play?
So tough.
That's
It's been
hard.
I mean, we haven't played it yet, but like personally, there's like so many good venues, but like there's one in particular that I'm going to shout out. There's a venue in Connecticut, called the Cellar on Treadwell,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they just treat the band so well. Like kind of like what you said. They give you percentage off food. They always like will probably make money,
Mhm.
and like they're just really good people. And we played there quite a bit. And we've had some really, really awesome shows. Like a few weeks ago, we played like pretty much a sold out show there. It was like
Wow.
it was really, really sick. We had people buying merch and coming up to the merch table, and it was a little bit of chaos, but it was good chaos. So I mean,
Yeah, I also love playing Connecticut. I think that might be one of my favorites.
yeah,
I think also JB Love Drafts
yep.
when we played there, that
Mm,
was a great. They were very hospitable. Hospitable.
they
What
were.
Is
did
that
they
the
give
name
us?
of a
Like
bar?
$100?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
That's
in
that's
Pennsylvania,
awesome.
in Harrisburg.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
gave us what, like $100 on a hundred
A
dollar
tab.
tab? But
Yep.
like in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, all
I
the
think
beers are
so.
so
Yeah.
cheap.
Hmm.
So me and
Yeah.
Dylan are going like
Yeah.
toe to toe with the beer.
I was the designated driver, and like Katie and Dylan were just like, bet.
We're just like
$100 tab, no problem. Two
I'm just like
people, we got it.
every 2 seconds, Jack and Coke, Jack and Coke, but
My
Jack
man.
and Coke. Like 2 minutes later, double Jack and Coke.
If the bar's getting discounts, dude, whiskey cola 100% of the way.
That was a good night. That the Harrisburg is another like we played Pennsylvania
Yeah.
a few times, like
Hmm.
but it's definitely somewhere I want to explore more. Um, it's Harrisburg has a really good music scene, and like that place specifically, again, just really nice people, always treats the bands well. Um, no, we had a good, and the food is like bomb over
Yeah.
there. It's good burgers and stuff. I think we still like ate pretty well. So it was good food.
So I would never expect to hear that out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It seems like one of those random spots that you wouldn't really like think twice about, but
Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm
like
glad you guys are treated so well, especially like, playing in other states and stuff. Dude, bands don't really usually get that kind of respect. Especially from locals. Locals are always a tough cookie to crack, but that's sick that you guys are doing it.
yep.
Do you guys
Yeah.
ever like does any of the promoters ever hit you guys up and like ask you what you guys want in terms of pay or like try to negotiate door deals for you, or is it
Yeah.
usually just like whatever they want to give you?
Usually they'll set the terms like before you book the show.
Hmm.
Um, there are cases though where like, it happened to us in Connecticut, like because we were the out-of-state band, they gave us a little bit more.
Hmm.
And like, to be honest, like should be that way. Like the traveling band should
Yeah.
be making a little bit more because you have to travel. Like,
Hmm.
kind of makes sense, like especially if you're traveling from far. But um yeah, like for the most part, like, most of the places that like, some of the local places at least that I try to book for us, like we try to understand like, if there is costs, like how can we, put ourselves in the best position to make some money and, most importantly, get people to the show so we could sell merch and all that good stuff.
So now working with Moongroove, you guys, especially at least for like MGR Fest, you have a lot of out of state bands coming through.
Yep.
Is that a good networking opportunity for you?
Oh yeah. We have some pretty heavy hitters on there, and like that's what I'm very excited about. Like we have some pretty heavy hitters that are like from out of state.
Yeah,
Um, so like being able to connect with them and like them knowing who you are is huge. Because like then if they have a show, it's like, oh, we'll like hit up Resist the Temptation. Like they were really cool guys type of thing. And um that's like what we're all about. We're all about just trying to like expand our community and like help our locals play with other bands in other areas so like they could also go play other areas too. That's kind of like the whole mission with it.
that's awesome. It's a good network that you guys are developing.
Thank you.
Um, so now obviously you're playing with a ton of bands. You've shouted a few out. Who are some of your other favorites that you want to drop a shout out to? Because I'm always looking for newer bands and like the Long Island scene right now, I'm kind of running low. So I need to know more. So I always
Oh,
like to ask you guys who are out there playing in the scene, like who are some of the bands that you think I should check out?
yeah.
Mm.
So we mentioned Ciro Valley. They're another really cool band out of Connecticut. They are incredible. Like they're
Mhm.
so good. Like they always put on like a sick show. Um, I have like, I have some friends in New Jersey, a band called Hollow Heroes. They're really awesome people too. Definitely check them out. There's a female fronted metal band from New Hampshire called Anaria, and they're really awesome people too. I have an entire list that I could probably send to you. Um, but if you're running low on any of those, we have a lot of bands that we have played with out of state that we've stayed good friends with. Like the Human Fund is another one from
Hmm.
Connecticut, like Return to Sender. There's so many that
Mhm.
we've played with and just really good. We've had a lot of really good experiences, to be honest, with bands out of state. We made
Yeah.
a lot of really good friends and like we're pretty thankful for that. They've all been really nice people.
Yeah, and if you wanted to keep local, there's like, oh, I always like recommend Goliath. I love Goliath so much, as well as Rominer. They're
Goliath is more of like a doom metal band,
Oh
right?
yes,
yeah, yeah.
Lumber.
I got a
I
lot of
think I've
homies
heard
in
of
the
them.
gym. Yeah, Goliath is awesome.
Yeah,
Super powerful, three piece.
yeah.
Um, and
Frequency
yeah,
overload is a
frequency overloads, homies. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Idiot
Um,
Box. Idiot Box is another good one. There's so many.
There's a
yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like a huge Excel sheet. Like
We
Yeah.
actually, I made us a playlist
Oh, cool.
on our Spotify, and that's all of the homies is on that playlist. So it's called I think
Awesome.
it's
Oh,
RT&T and Friends Collective.
Okay.
yep.
So
Phantom.
yeah,
I
if you
have
want
a
to check that out,
Yeah, for sure. Send it over.
yeah, I
I'll
have
uh
sure.
I'll
Rominer
check it
on
out.
mine own. I have Rominer and I have Phantoms and Fables.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah,
good
Phantom
homies
Fables.
too. From Brooklyn mostly.
Every week I do a top 10. So my top 10 songs of the week, and every single week, three out of those 10 are locals. So
Oh,
I always make sure that
Nice.
I'm shouting out my Long Island guys because I got to go to the scene too. I got to do my part. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
but similarly, I have a playlist that every single week I add the top 10 to. So, like, I'm always shouting out really anyone and everybody, and hopefully getting some traction for all the bands I feature, and you know, hopefully it works.
Mhm.
But
Nice.
I know you guys are friends with Bending Over Backwards, so I got to send a shout out to Bending Over
Hmm.
Backwards.
Absolutely.
They're all great
Steve and the
people.
Not Steves.
They really are.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot
Them
about
too.
Steve and the Not Steves.
Yeah.
Opioids.
I haven't heard
Opioids
that
are
name in a
really
while.
cool.
Can we also shout out the other band that Katie's in, Calliope?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Calliope.
Oh
Not
yeah.
metal,
This
but
person,
yeah,
It's not, but she's great, and
Doesn't have
that
to be
yeah.
band is
metal.
great.
Calliope's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
What
We
kind of
played.
music is it?
Like pop punk.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
If you had to like, I mean, don't compare yourself to an artist if you don't want to, but like for anyone who might be checking them out, who would you compare yourself to?
Us?
Yeah, for Calliope.
Oh, for Calliope.
Yeah.
Paramore.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy to always like pop punk, Paramore, female fronted. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it is very similar to Paramore. She also has like when I listen to her sing, I think straight like JoJo.
Oh
You
yeah.
remember JoJo? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's incredible. She's such a good singer, but
Yeah.
she has such a great stage presence.
Mhm.
Jocelyn. But yeah, I know she wants to get a little heavier. I know she wants to like lean more into the like a spirit box kind of
Oh, dope.
realm too. So yeah, I think anywhere
Awesome.
between Spirit Box and Paramore, that's where she is.
That's
so
a
Katie,
crazy range, but that's awesome.
It is a very
I
wide
am
range.
all on board for that.
Mhm.
What do you say, Phil?
Katie,
Phil,
how's the cover song coming along?
don't ask. Don't ask. I'm busy.
I gotta inquire. I have to inquire. I'm just making sure that you could do the backing vocals for Calliope on that one song. I'm just asking.
Oh, that song. No, I'm not doing backup.
Is it
Which
We
one
safe?
is that?
we cover "Hell You Call a Dream" by The Warning,
Ooh,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think her name is Ali.
yeah.
What's the bassist name? She's incredible. She plays on a 5 string, and I have to transpose it onto a 4 string. Luckily, I don't use the G string, so I can just use the drop tune and do it to be standard. But yeah, it's a very hard song to play. But it definitely taught me a lot. And Phil, like I really tried to push RTT to play Barracuda because like I'm a huge Heart fan and
Mhm.
I love the song. So now Phil's upset with me. But every time we play Barracuda, he growls. And like literally, like I say Barracuda and he's like, "Arrgh." But
You don't know how difficult
uh,
the song is on drums. It sounds easy, but it is not easy to do.
it's not the song is not
Really
easy.
not.
Barracuda is
It's
a very
not an
hard
easy
song.
song.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Phil is in his glory, knowing that I'm struggling.
Do you guys drop the tuning on that?
Barracuda, no, we play in standard.
Really? Wow. That's impressive
That's the
as
only
shit.
song we play in standard.
Phil
That's
must
awesome.
be Phil must
I
be
like it.
Why is Phil mad? Because he actually played the song right.
Yeah, he's mad because I'm like, oh, we can play it again.
Yeah. That means we can play it again. Yeah.
Is that your favorite song by Heart? Or is that just the people pleaser
That's just
song?
like the most popular. I really like Straight On. Straight On's a great song. Dreamboat Annie is just a great album too. Like
Yeah, classic
yeah,
album.
anything from Heart. I love Ann Wilson so much. And obviously Nancy.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Her vocals are powerful. Like
And
she's
she
Yeah.
still does it.
Phil.
Yeah, her vocals are truly insane.
She is. She's amazing. And Sandy because it covers it so well. Like she does it. I would argue just as good. Like
Yeah.
she kills it. Yeah.
It took
Sandy
me a
kills it.
while. It was hard to learn because like the timing on it, really
Hmm.
messes with you.
You
And I
figure
still
the
probably
timing would
mess
be
up
the
on it,
easiest part.
but
Well, it
no, 'cause
changes.
yeah, and I don't know.
There's like some slight changes for timing in that song.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, comparatively, like the vocal delivery, I would figure to be the hardest part.
Yeah,
Oh.
but that took a little bit to get used to, but I got the hang of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Do you guys do
I
that a
love doing
lot?
that song. Do like
What?
what?
Do
Like
you guys cover that a lot, or
like play it a lot?
Yeah.
Not at every show. It's like in every
Yeah, it's sprinkled in there.
yeah?
Every once in a while.
every now and again.
We
Yeah.
spare Phil a little bit.
I would love to hear you guys do that sometime. So let me know when
Oh,
you're gonna play it.
We'll probably
Let
do
me know
it
when you're coming, and we'll make sure
Yeah.
we'll play it.
Bill, Matt's coming to the show.
Yeah.
Breakfast Barracuda, everybody.
No, I'm definitely gonna try to come out to the Whiskey Rocks one because I want to see what Sinclair's is like now, and obviously I want to catch you guys, but like that's I'm hurting for more shows, and like the one I went to a couple well about a month ago was Resistor and Path We Choose. That's the first local show I went to in about 2 years, and I was legitimately going home in pain. Like I am not used to that kind of shit anymore, so I'm trying to get back into it. But
Nice. Path We Choose are also homies.
They
yeah,
are
dude,
homies.
they're so good.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I've known those guys for such a long time now, and like I'm so proud of everything they're doing. They just did Chaos and Carnage over the weekend in
They
Reading,
look
PA,
insane.
and like they posted a video. They sounded so fucking good.
Yep. Yep. No, they're an incredible band.
Yeah.
I've seen them a few times and saw them at a pretty big show a few years ago and blew me away. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they tear shit up every single time. And now they're doing it with just one guitarist. Nick's the only guitarist in the band now, and they still
Yep.
sound amazing.
Yep.
Arguably better than they did before, which I
Yeah,
hope they don't kill me for saying that, but like even with two guitarists, like I don't know, man. The last time
Yeah.
I saw them, they put on a clinic of a show. So
Yeah.
props to them because they're blowing up. They do nothing but hustle.
Yeah,
But
they really do. They push. They really push it. They're doing
mhm.
good.
Yeah, they were on the show a little while ago, and they were telling me like, everything that they do to promote a show, they if they play out of town, they go out of town and promote locally for a couple days, and then they shout everything out on social media, but they're always doing something to give 100%. So, this way, like they have kind of a built-in crowd of their own wherever they go, which is really cool to see because I think it's a matter of time before they get that break and then they just take off. Like it's happening more and more now. So it's just a matter of time, I think. Especially, like they're doing it, Resistor's doing it, you guys are like I feel like you're right there. I feel like once the EP drops, it's gonna put you guys in a different level. So
Mm,
I can't wait
thank
to
you.
hear that come out. Do you have a release date yet?
No.
Or nothing?
No.
We're figuring out.
Even if we knew, we don't know if we'd tell. We don't know
Yeah.
if we'd tell.
Oh, we do.
We do?
Date is this year.
Yeah, this year. All right,
There
cool.
you
I will keep
You're
my eyes and ears open this year for your new EP.
go. This year.
Is there anything you could tell me about it? Like how many songs or what do you guys stick to like the heavy side or is there like more dynamic?
So
May
we did get kind of dynamic with this
Yeah.
one. It's
Oh
still
yeah.
heavy. All the songs are heavy, but then there's just an area. I don't know how much I want to disclose, but there's
there's
a
one
piece that
song
is
that
different.
like wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one song that almost like makes me tear up,
Yeah.
That's what
like listening to it. And then there's another song that's just like, damn, that's a good song. Like holy crap.
Yeah.
Like
And Sandy said it was the best chorus she ever wrote, and I agree.
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
Just remember, Dylan, it's not all about you.
That's right.
Right.
Not all about you.
Dylan embraces it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've said this for years, and I just nod my head. I'm like, yep, that's right.
Maybe it will be about you one day, Dylan. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh,
Today.
it's all good. I love you guys too.
Is that a lead guitar issue?
Yeah.
Dylan basically wrote the first four songs, and then we
Yeah.
kind of deconstructed it. And during the process of deconstruction, everybody was like, "It's not about you anymore, Dylan."
Well, the full inside joke was like unfair. Our first song, unfair.
Yeah.
It was the
I
song
think I
was
lost you guys. Hang on.
originally.
I don't hear
yes,
anything.
yes.
Did you lose us? I think you lost us. Hold on.
Yeah, you're right, though. It was just
Yeah.
unfair.
Yeah.
Good job, Dylan.
Sorry. My headphones came unplugged.
It's okay.
Oh no. Okay, okay.
So I didn't hear anything
Um,
you said about like the setup to that.
oh, so yeah, the it stems from the our first song that we ever released, which was Unfair. And originally the song was about Dylan and like his old relationship. Um, and I like it was during COVID, so like I had the song for like a few weeks. It just like sat with it, and I like was thinking about the lyrics, and I was like, no, it needs to change. So, so I like completely rewrote all the lyrics, the melody, everything, and I came into the studio that day, and I was like, Dylan, it's no longer about you.
And the song's
And
great.
yeah, yeah. I really love how it came out. Like it's that's honestly it's the song's not really about anybody. It's just like
Hmm.
a made up story I made up. I like to do that sometimes, just like come up with random stories that maybe will connect with somebody. Um but yeah. So that's where that inside joke comes from, and we just keep saying that now.
Damn. Poor Dylan.
Yeah, somebody understands finally.
Sorry, man.
It's all good.
No soup for you.
It's part of the trade at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
So Sandy, that's cool that you said that you like to write songs more like ambiguously to let people interpret for themselves. I always appreciate songs like that. That's like you know what you're writing about, but you can do it in a vague enough way where people can interpret it and make it something that they see for themselves. Because I was always under the belief that you can play one song for 100 people, and 100 people are going to take 100 different meanings to the one thing you wrote about.
mhm.
That's the best kind
Yeah,
of song
a
for
hundred
me.
percent. Yeah, I mean, like I like doing that, and I also like writing about um either my experience or other people's experiences. So,
Hmm.
um, like Mirage was also kind of like a made up story. Um, so Mirage and Unfair are kind of like that. Um, I would say Numb is definitely that's supposed to be about Dylan. Dylan, that's your song right there.
Mhm.
See, you do have a song.
Dylan's got a song.
I do want to say though, like the next four songs we have coming out are a lot of them are very personal to us.
They all are.
I think they pretty much all are. I mean,
They all
Hypnotized was a
are.
little more general. You know, we kind of played around with an idea of like a dictator and like what a dictator would sing about,
Hmm.
and like from their point of view. So it wasn't like really about like anyone specifically, but we just thought that was such a cool point of view, and we wanted to create a song about it. Um, so
That's
yeah,
that's definitely interesting because a lot of bands like I know Slayer did that a lot. A lot. They would find a point of view and write through someone else's eyes.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I think the song, I'm not a big Slayer fan, so forgive me if I'm botching this, but I'm pretty sure Jihad was about that, that it was through the eyes of a terrorist. And I think Angel of Death
wow,
was through the eyes of someone who it was about Joseph Mengele from the Holocaust, but it was either through someone's eyes of a victim or someone who observed. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, the personification shit is really cool. I love when people can get artistic like that because that's what really brings the
hmm
art into lyric and storytelling.
For sure.
yeah, you're really like getting creative with it, you know. I really love doing that kind of stuff. I like listening to music that's like that, so that's
Same.
why I
I'm a
try to do
fan.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked you guys earlier about influences, about like what bands got you into what you do and um like what made you want to do what you do. Who were If you could pinpoint who were the musicians that made you want to, let's say, like write songs, like lyrically, or play bass, or play drums, or guitar, like what can you really hone in and be like, that's who I saw and they changed my world.
Yeah. For me, for me, it was Eddie Van Halen. Like my dad showed me like 80s hair metal. And like when I saw Eddie Van Halen doing like Eruption and stuff like that, like immediately was like, I need to learn how to play um guitar. So like Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace, was
Hmm.
like just such a huge impact and inspiration on me. It's like a lot of my style is like kind of centered with him, and it's like I think it's like really what inspired me to pick up guitar.
So with Eruption, like everyone knows Eruption starting out, and you think that Eddie is just a god beyond gods. And
Yep.
then you hear shit like Cathedral and Spanish Fly, and you're coming to realize like, oh my God, he might actually be like the guitar god.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's incredible.
Yeah. R.I.P. Eddie. That was a huge loss.
Yeah, I agree.
Katie, what about you? What would you say?
There's I think three people that really stick out in my mind. I really like when we're speaking vocally, like I really like when people show a lot of emotion in their voice and you can actually feel what they're feeling.
Hmm.
And I feel like Gerard Way from My Chemical
Oh,
Romance really just
100%.
embodies that. Um, I love listening to him. I love his lyrics. I love his mind. Yeah, I just think he's just an incredible artist in all senses. So definitely My Chemical Romance. Um, when it comes to like, I guess stage presence and like screaming, I want to say Marissa Paternoster from Screaming Females. Definitely a huge inspiration of mine. Just like a fucking shredder. She's insane. I love her so much.
I'm
Um,
unfamiliar. I'll have to check her out.
Screaming Female. She was like on the list of like the top musicians or top guitarists in the world. She's
Really?
like 90 something. Yeah, she's in, but she deserves so much more. But the Screaming Female sadly broke up. I want to say last year or the year before.
Oh, okay.
And she's doing like her own thing now. But yeah, Screaming Female is definitely near and dear to my heart. Um, and when it comes to bass, I mean, Les Claypool, I know I don't play anything like him, but just
Yes, you
watching him, like I love him. I love him so much.
If you
Yeah.
do, Katie, stop lying. You play like,
do.
you know what I mean?
I don't even slap. So,
You're an amazing bass player. Shush.
yeah.
Have you
Okay.
ever gotten to see Primus live?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They
Yeah. I
are
love
just insane live. They're so good.
incredible. I like you. I just watched his right hand
Yeah.
the entire time. Like I don't know how he does what he does. Yeah, I love him so much.
It's crazy enough that he does what he does, but then he does it and starts singing.
Yeah, and then he like just like skips and trots around stage or his little stompy things. I don't know. Yo, I he's
I
amazing.
I only got to see Primus one time. I mean, so far, it was when they were doing the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
I
thing
was there. Was it the
at the
Paramount?
Paramount. Yup.
Yeah, I was there. I was there.
I think that was Tim
That is a
Alexander's
great
first tour
album.
back, if I'm not mistaken. That was fresh off of his heart attack. But
Who?
Tim Alexander.
Okay, right. Okay, yes.
Yeah, like I didn't know the album so much. I just knew their singles. Um and like seeing them that night, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm a fan." I'm just locked into this now. And like I learned so much more about the band like musically that night, just seeing what they do as opposed to hearing what they do. They're
Mhm.
ridiculous. They're so good.
They really are.
And Phil, what would you say for yourself, dude?
Drumming wise, I guess influences.
Sure. I
Uh,
mean, if you're a multi-instrumentalist, shout them out too.
I wish I could play more than drums. I mean,
Yeah.
I fiddle around on the keyboard though, but I wouldn't call myself an amazing keyboard player. But there's a lot of good drummers out there, and there's like a lot to pick from that I would say are like influential. But I guess there's like a few that are like influential to me. One of them is from Evanescence. I guess Will Hunt
Mm,
from Evanescence. He's a pretty good influence, and I do give Rocky credit also when he did the Fallen album.
hmm.
Also, they had two different drummers at one point, so I guess both of them, Skillet, Jen and Lori.
Yeah.
Also, when Lori was with them, like the first three albums that she did, like I find her drumming like part of my influence. And then when Jen took over from like one of the albums onward in 2000, I would say they're like influences to me. I mean, not like flat, like all the drummers there are not like flat, like, throwing sticks and doing everything. They're
Yeah.
more like
They're pocket players.
they're pretty much like in the pocket. They give the song not too little and not too much, like
Yeah.
exact the right beat that the song needs. And I guess I could take that in for like when we write our music. I'm like, okay, this is what I feel like the song needs, and I just give it exactly what it needs. Nothing more, nothing less, exactly what it needs.
That's spot on about Jen Ledger too. She is the definition of just doing what the song needs.
And there's not that many female drummers out there.
Yeah,
That
not
I
anymore. I think they're starting to make a resurgence too, but we need more.
exactly. I'm like, why can't we just get more there? I mean, granted, there are good male drummers out there, but there's plenty of like amazing female drummers, bass players, guitarists that are undiscovered. I'm like, why can't we just have more of them?
I think we're at a point now with music where we're gonna start bridging the gap between male, female, and we're just gonna see it be musicians.
I
Like
hope so.
Yeah.
I think it's getting there. I think that bands like Spirit Box are paving the way for that kind of shit to happen. Like Courtney, like it's always been like can the girls hang with the boys? And then like, Arch Enemy comes around and they're like, no, we're fucking better than half the dudes out there. Spirit Box comes around and Courtney's like, no, yeah, I can hang with anybody. And like Sophie Burrell's coming out, she's an amazing guitarist. Like there's so much coming out now that it's just like I don't want to say the female fronted thing versus female guitarist thing is taking away from itself because it's not. It's growing beyond that. And it's just like there's a whole wave of musicians coming, guys, girls, everybody. It's going to be massive in the next few years, I think. I think we're going to start seeing some projects coming out, especially with the internet as a tool to grow those projects. I think we're going to be in for a hell of a treat.
Oh, I mean, you've met Katie and Sandy. They're both amazing musicians.
Dude, I can't even tell you. Like, again, my first experience with you guys is seeing that little snippet of Hypnotize and then actually like seeing the rest of your stuff and like listening to everything and like, holy shit. Like, you guys have so much talent in four people and the way that you guys complement each other vocally, Sandy and Katie,
Yeah.
it's so special. It's like you guys got to harness that and keep it going because like your
Oh,
voices
yeah.
fit so well together.
Yeah, yeah, it's like something you wouldn't expect, but it works. And
Hmm.
like I love having her as like, the other vocalists in the band because like I feel like she just amplifies what I'm doing and like she like brings a whole nother like style to what I'm doing and like it's just like complements each other. Like, we're two sides of one coin,
He's in a pod.
DPC pod, yeah.
You guys posted that video either last week or the week before of Katie. You were recording Hypnotize, and your screams. I commented on it. I was like, "Those are the cleanest fucking screams I've ever heard, dude. They were meant." I was like, "Oh my god,
Thank
you're
you.
such a powerhouse."
Thank you. Thank you.
And like, I can't wait to hear how it translates live too. I'm so excited to like come see you guys and see you do your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy, I'm not skipping you though. What would you say
Oh,
are some artists that you would feel inspired you to do what you do?
yeah. So like it's funny you were saying like the female lead singers and all that. Like I gravitate towards female musicians. I can't help it. Like I just love listening to what they do and you know how they shape the music industry. Um, but yeah, I would say like there's a lot of different influences um that kind of influence me and take me over. Like, I mean, if you see the back behind me, I have like all these album arts of a whole
I
bunch of different bands and
could
like,
barely make them out, but yeah,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
really
okay,
tiny on my screen.
it's all good. It's all good. I'll just explain it. So I would say like lyrically, I kind of look towards like Paramore and Evanescence, a little bit of Flyleaf. And I would say style wise though, I try to like mend my like R&B voice together with everything. So that influence mainly comes from Alicia Keys. Who's my queen. I love Alicia Keys. Like ever since I started listening to her music, like I love singing it. And like she has so many different stories that she sings about too. Like um that I think that are I don't think they're personal stories and they're just like made up, and that's what I like about it too, you know. Um Ever since I started listening to her, that's I got hooked. I'm hooked. I can sing any Alicia Keys song you give me. Um so yeah, I definitely try to like mold that together. Like but I would also say I really love Lady Gaga. Um I love her as an artist. Like she just goes all out,
Yeah.
and she just puts her heart into the art of her music, you know, and I really admire that, her performance and everything. So there's so much influence. um I mean, like I've also, when I was younger, I would dabble in like Broadway and even opera. That's kind of where I started
Oh,
my
cool.
voice lessons in the past. And people have come up to me after shows and they're like, "You're a Broadway fan, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Did you know?" They're like, "I could hear it." They say that to me all the time. But yeah, it's really interesting what all of this comes down to, mixed with my band here. So it's always very interesting to see
Very
what we
cool.
come up with.
I do have to shout out. I don't know if you guys know. Are you familiar with Lauren Babick? Any of you?
Yes.
Yeah, Lauren is a fucking powerhouse vocalist. Did you hear her new EP that she dropped?
With
Dylan,
Skylim
did you play that in the car?
with Sky Limit, right?
No. She just released a solo one.
I have not listened to it then.
I think it came out about 2 weeks ago. It is insane.
I'll have to check it out 'cause I
She
like
shows off all different sides of her vocal range, but she like there's one song called "I'm Bored," which is one of the heaviest songs I've ever heard in my life, and she just throws down on it. But it's so good. And like speaking of metal vocalists, I just had to shout that out because she's incredible. So if you haven't heard
Yes.
of her, definitely check her out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool to hear like where you guys come from musically. Um, Especially like, how many different areas of music are combining into this band to make it sound the way it does, you know? Like the 80s metal side combined with Broadway, combining with Skillet, combining with sludge and black metal that Katie's into, and like you guys just all make it work and piece it together, and like it's crazy. It works so well.
Yeah, that's like something that we like to embrace, is how diverse our music tastes are. Yeah.
There was a show I remember. It was we played one of our city shows, and after our show, there was a couple people I get that came up, started talking to us. They're like, "Hey, do you like Skillet?" I'm like, "How do you know?" They're like, "Oh, we could tell from you, John." Okay. I didn't even. Just two completely random people. I'm like, "Thank you."
You don't really hear people talk about Skillet too often, so it's kind of interesting that they would peg you for that.
It's a far-fetched and dime a dozen.
Yeah. They're one of those bands that I feel goes underappreciated for their musicality, but yeah, they throw down, especially their earlier stuff. I'm not really into anything they've done in the past 10-ish years. I think Awake was the last album I actually really loved from them, but Awake Back was some of the heaviest, like most ridiculous music.
The Chrome album is like one of their best albums they created.
Mm.
And I think it was, hold on, let me just look to see because I know I have their music. It was, give me 1 second. It was their Collide album.
Mm.
Their Collide album was like arguably one of their heaviest albums for the music they do, and that album was like,
That had Rebirthing on it, didn't it?
what's that?
That had Rebirthing on it, didn't it?
That was Comatose.
Comatose?
Comatose had the Rebirth, Whispers,
Mm.
which is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah, that's a great song.
And then that was all like I was saying for like influences earlier. That was from Lori.
Mm.
Somehow by miracle, I told the rest of the band, but on TikTok, I am one of her mods.
Oh
So
yeah,
by a chance, I'm Idol's mods. I'm like, oh my goodness. So when
that's
I
dope.
I'm like, I'm fanboying, but I gotta be professional at the same time.
Yeah.
One of those ordeals.
The first time I saw Skillet was they were opening for Creed at Jones Beach,
I was
and
at that show. I was
yeah.
Man,
Nice.
them with arms.
I was there at that show,
Dude,
bro.
I paid about $20 a pop, and I was sitting
Yeah.
in the orchestra. I was like,
That
yeah, that's too good not to go to that.
that
Wow.
And I didn't
I
know
love that about
how
Jones Beach.
I didn't know how heavy Skillet got because at that point I knew Hero, and I knew
Mhm.
Monster, and I knew Awaken Alive, and like I knew some of the Comatose stuff, but I didn't know like how heavy it got. So when I saw them, I was like, oh shit! Like they actually kind of throw down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it
Didn't
was
exactly. They were
uh,
almost too heavy to go on the bill with Creed. I was like, this is confusing, but it's awesome.
mhm.
But yeah, they're such a fun band. But like, I started to feel like everything they were writing kind of started to sound the same, at least to me anyway. So I kind of fell off with Skillet through the years. But
I've seen them 3 times.
yeah,
The
I've seen them
was
probably about 3 or 4 times.
the first time was in Harrisburg, PA, and Sick Puppies opened up for them.
That's sick.
Sick Puppies, they are a good band.
Did you see them with the original singer or the new guy?
Who, Skillet?
No, Sick Puppies.
Uh, it was 2016, so might have
New
been
guy.
might have been. I think it was the new guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Shaman left 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably
Oh, yeah,
wrong about that.
it had to have been a new singer.
Yeah.
Second time I saw them was with Dylan, who's right above me.
Yeah.
They were who was the opening band for them with Adam?
Oh boy.
What was the name of that Adam from 3 Days Grace was with?
The band with that Adam was in.
Yeah,
Um,
I forget the name of his band that he was.
oh shit, and now I'm blanking on it too, and I had it for you.
I don't know.
I saw them.
That band was that he was
Yeah,
saw them open up for that.
They're really good though. Yeah, that was a good show.
It was fun.
let me see if I can find it because that's gonna bug me.
I know he did just get back with 3 Days Grace though.
Yeah, 3 Days Grace. I think they're calling it X2 now because they have Matt and Adam singing now.
I find that unique that there's that. Well, I'm happy that they didn't say goodbye to Matt, but I guess they're doing kind of what Katie and Sandy are doing. I guess like the dual vocals going on for.
It
From what I've seen,
was
they
Saint
like. Oh,
Saint Saint Asonia, by the way.
there we go.
Hey, Sonia. There you go. That's it. Appreciate that. It was gonna drive me crazy.
I was being driven crazy with that.
And it's all good.
Hey Matt,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to leave soon.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, I figured we were gonna wrap it up in a few minutes anyway. Um, what time do you have to head out?
Uh, I think my watch is off, so probably like now.
Okay.
Is it 9:30? I can't tell.
It is
Oh yeah,
9:30, yeah.
9:30. Okay. All right. But I didn't want to cut you guys off.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. I was actually probably gonna wrap it up because we have been going for a little bit, but yeah, no, it was so awesome talking to you guys finally. I'm glad we got to do this, and I'm very excited for everything going on. Dylan, if I see you tomorrow at Trivium, I'll definitely try to get you.
Yeah,
Um,
you will. You'll see me.
yeah. Well, I'll be there with Gallagher, like I said. Some
Yeah.
show we'll run into you.
Yeah.
But the rest of you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. It
Thank
means a lot to
you.
me that you guys wanted to do this because this is something very new. Still, it's only a couple months old, but yeah, you guys are fantastic, and I love everything you guys are doing. You're all such great people. You're very funny. I love the personality that comes out of every single one of you guys. So,
Thank you.
I look forward to everything you got going on, and yeah, keep me in the loop with everything. Shows, let me shout them out for you. Just keep me in the loop. All right.
Oh, thank you,
Awesome.
Matt.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
All
you,
right, guys.
Matt. It was
Have
Alright,
a
such a good time.
have a fantastic night, and I can't wait to see you guys in the future. Take
Yeah,
care.
we'll see you.
Bye, Matt.
Have a good night,
See you
Bye-bye.
everybody.
around.
Have a good
Have a good
night.
night.
have a good night.
I hope you guys enjoyed hearing this this interview with Resist the Temptation. Again, they are truly fantastic people, instantly becoming one of my favorite groups to talk to. In editing, I'm just going to let you know, I did end up meeting up with Dylan at Trivium on Wednesday night, and he's such a good dude. It felt like I was just meeting up with an old friend at that point. He's so easy to talk to, so friendly, and I wish it wasn't at a concert because it was so loud I couldn't really hear shit. But you know, I'm looking forward to the next time I get a chance to talk to him and meet the rest of the band too, because genuinely they are good people, very very good people, and I think that they are going to be one of the next big things in this metal scene, truly. Their EP that's coming out, we have really no details on yet. I will fill you in on as soon as possible. But as with every ounce of news that I tell you about, it comes from somewhere else first. So in this case, I really want you guys to go follow the Resist the Temptation page. I feel like you should hear the news from the source. I am not going to be one to ever take traction away from the people that I'm supporting. So please go follow Resist the Temptation. Go on their website, buy some merch, see what's up with the band, keep up to date with them, and please buy your tickets for MGR Fest 2025, where you can see them and so many more bands. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in to Week 11. Thank you for your time and your support. Everyone who listens, all the interactions on social media, who tells their friends to listen. I love you all, and I appreciate you more than words can say. Again, the easiest and the cheapest way for someone to support a friend's business ventures is to get the word out. Whether that's, small business, whether it's a podcast, whether that is a band, a musician, something starting up. Exposure is everything. So the more exposure they get, the more they can grow. Share the page, like a post. Tell a friend about something that I've said or a band that you heard on the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, put in the codes and just nuke that sub button. It goes a long way. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you again on the next one. You have been listening to the Face the Music podcast. Be well, everybody. Be safe, and I will see you again soon. Peace.